Chapter 3043. Yi Fei smiled mysteriously and did not say anything. However, at this moment, a cold voice resounded throughout the world. It was the power of the moon soul. This voice made one's blood boil as if they were about to faint. Xue Ling's expression changed. What? The power of the moon soul? You actually integrated the power of the moon soul into the flying dagger? Yi Fei's expression also changed. He did not expect his secret to be seen through in an instant. However, he did not dare to be angry because he knew who made that voice. It was Huangfu Beitian. In front of such a person, his secret could not be hidden at all. I did not expect your control of the moon soul to have reached such a level. Xue Ling took a deep breath. Next time, I won't lose to you again. As she said that, she also channeled ice to seal her wound. Then, she turned around and walked down the stage. This battle did not last long. Especially after Yi Fei displayed his flying knife skill, the outcome of the battle was decided almost instantly. The surrounding prodigies seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. Many of the young rookies saw Yi Fei's dagger for the first time. Too strong. Was that Yi Fei's flying dagger? As expected, no one could block it. Would Hei Mo be able to block it? It was hard to say. Hei Mo was too strong, and Yi Fei's dagger was too sharp. If the two of them collided, what would the situation be? Don't worry, the two of them will definitely fight in the next round. In the distance, the elders were also excited. Yi Fei's dagger had indeed become stronger. This kid's talent was terrifying. He could actually integrate the moon soul into his flying dagger technique. Did he engrave it on the blade or directly integrate it into the technique? But no matter what, his strength had become stronger again. He could even challenge Hei Mo and Huangfu Beitian. Next should be Xue Ling, right? Who was she going to challenge? Xue Ling had just been injured. It would probably take some time for her to recover. Sure enough, the next round did not start immediately. Instead, they waited for Xue Ling to recover from her injuries. The surrounding people were too excited because Wang Qi, Yi Fei, Xue Ling, Hei Mo, and the other powerhouses appeared one by one. The power they displayed was too terrifying. These were the top 5. Too strong. No one could defeat them. The top 3 would definitely come from these people. 2 hours later, Xue Ling opened her eyes. Although she hadn't fully recovered, she had recovered 80 to 90%. She was ready to fight. Xue Ling walked out. Her gaze moved between the Black Devil and Huangfu Beitian, and she seemed to be deciding who she wanted to challenge. In the end, she still stared at the Black Demon because she truly did not have the courage to challenge Huangfu Beitian. Hei Mo had appeared again. Although Xue Ling lost to Yi Fei, it didn't mean that she was weak. On the contrary, her strength was extremely strong. Even the Black Devil had to take it seriously. Wang, after more than 100 moves, Hei Mo used his black halberd, and Xue Ling was actually able to exchange 3 moves with him. When Hei Mo was fighting Wang Qi, he used his black halberd and sent Wang Qi flying with 1 move. But now, it took him 3 moves to defeat Xue Ling. One could imagine just how powerful Xue Ling was. Hei Mo won again. He didn't leave the arena, and he looked directly at Huangfu Beitian instead. Come and fight me. Today I'll defeat you. I'll let everyone know who's number 1 on Full Moon Peak. Huangfu Beitian opened his eyes and looked at Hei Mo in the arena with a calm expression. He said, "You've just gone through a battle, so I'll give you 15 minutes to recover." In less than 15 minutes, Hei Mo snorted coldly, and the black halberd in his hand shook. Suddenly, a huge crack that was tens of thousands of miles wide appeared in the sky. Boundless demonic qi rolled and crazily absorbed the spiritual qi between heaven and earth. It formed into beams of black light, a total of 49 beams, and connected to Hei Mo's body. Spiritual qi poured into his body, forcibly recovering. Oh heavens, he dared to use such a method? How terrifying was Hei Mo! Wasn't he afraid of his body exploding? Those people exclaimed, "Yi Fei, Xue Ling, and the others also turned pale. Hei-Amo was too powerful. Soon, the dark clouds in the sky disappeared, and Hei-Mo's aura became tyrannical again. "I've recovered, come and fight me." "As you wish." Huangfu Beitian walked up. When he took a step forward, the crowd couldn't see his figure at all, and they realized that he had already arrived in the arena. Shrinking the ground into an inch? That's too fast. You're not my opponent. Take out your strongest martial arts. Huangfu Beitian said indifferently. Don't look down on me. I'm definitely strong enough to defeat you now. Hei-Amo snorted coldly. He didn't put away the black halberd in his hand. Instead, it bloomed with an even more terrifying light. The surrounding experts and Skype rides felt their scalps go numb. Huangfu Beitian actually said such words to Hei-Amo. It was too shocking. One had to know that Hei-Amo usually said such words to others. They had never thought that someone would dare to say such words to Hei-Amo. However, Huangfu Beitian definitely had such strength. He was the number one of the full moon peak. From the beginning to the end, no one had seen him fight because no one dared to challenge him. Even top Skype rides like Yi Fei and Xueling didn't dare to challenge him. Only Hei-Amo dared to challenge him, right? Buzz. Boom. Hei-Amo snorted. His hair danced wildly, and the demonic chi on his body erupted again. At this moment, he seemed to have turned into an ancient demon king. Unstoppable. What a powerful aura. Those people were all blown away. Xueling, Yi Fei, and the others' pupils shrank. He became stronger again. Hei-Mo's aura became stronger again. Could it be that Hei-Amo didn't use his full strength in the previous battle? Thinking of this, a hint of despair appeared in their eyes. Wasn't this too shocking? Hei-Amo was still hiding his strength. Those elders were also extremely surprised. Everyone's expression was ugly. In the crowd, Lin Xian's gaze was solemn as he stared at the fiend godlike figure. There were still countless sword chi around him, blocking the terrifying storm. On the other side, the illusory green lotus beside Zhong Linxiu swayed gently, blocking all the storm. At the same time, two mysterious runes flashed in her eyes. It seemed to want to see through everything. Kill! Hei-Amo roared and waved his black halberd like a demon. Suddenly, a dazzling killing intent soared into the sky. The terrifying black light turned into a long rainbow and slashed forward. In an instant, it enveloped Huangfu Beitian. Seeing this scene, everyone became nervous. They wondered what kind of peerless ability Huangfu Beitian was going to use. After all, the black halberd was too terrifying. It defeated Wang Qi in one move and Xueling in 3 moves. It was definitely a heaven-defying weapon. Probably not many people would be able to withstand this kind of power. Huangfu Beitian would probably have to use a peerless ability. Perhaps he would have to pull out the blade on his back. Everyone was looking forward to an intense battle. Even Lin Xian and Zhong Lingxiu's eyes flickered with anticipation. Chapter 3044. Looking at the incoming divine rainbow, Huangfu Beitian stood with his hands behind his back. He did not dodge or make any movements. When the divine rainbow arrived beside him, he opened his mouth. Destroy! With a light shout, heaven and earth collapsed. The dozens of black, mist-like attacks instantly collapsed and turned into fragments. The void in all directions of the world was also cracking apart continuously. With just one word, the black demon's powerful attack was neutralized. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. Heavens, am I dreaming? What did I just see? Huangfu Beitian neutralized the black demon's peerless attack by opening his mouth? That was not an ordinary attack. The attack that defeated Wang Qi in 1 move and Xueling in 3 moves was actually nothing in front of Huangfu Beitian. How terrifying and heaven-defying was Huangfu Bai. These people were all crazy. To be honest, this was completely different from what they had imagined. In their view, the black demon was already so terrifying. No matter how strong Huang Fu Beitian was, he should not be much stronger than the black demon. Between the two, it would definitely be a fierce battle. Perhaps there would be an endless stream of great abilities, but the truth was not so. Facing the black demon's powerful attack, Huang Fu Beitian only said one word and neutralized the peerless killing intent. This was simply a crushing defeat. They did not expect Huang Fu Baitian's strength to far surpass the black demon's. Even Lin Xian and Zhong Linxiu were shocked. The two of them did not expect such a scene. This Huang Fu Baitian was incredible. Is this all you've got? I've said it before. Use your strongest trump card. Huang Fu Baitian shook his head slightly with a hint of disappointment in his eyes. Damn guy, don't be so arrogant. The black demon's face was gloomy and somewhat unsightly. He did not expect Huang Fu Baitian to destroy his attack with just one word without making a move. Coupled with the surprise of the surrounding people, it made him lose face. He decided to show Huang Fu Baitian his strength. Those few attacks just now were not his full strength. Next, he would let Huang Fu Baitian know the price of underestimating him. Demonic dragon, overflowing sky. Hei Mo roared furiously. Devil Qi surged out from his body. 18 devil dragons surged out and coiled around Huang Fu Baitian at a rapid speed. At the same time, he waved the halberd in his hand again, creating a few terrifying spatial rifts as if he wanted to swallow Huang Fu Baitian whole. It was too terrifying. The attack this time was even more terrifying than before. It seemed like the Hei Mo was truly enraged. Huang Fu Baitian harumphed coldly as he waved his hand, firing a shocking saber glow that shattered the 18 black dragons. At the same time, he stomped his foot, shattering all the spatial rifts around him. Your attack is not good enough, Huang Fu Baitian said coldly. Was the gap between them that big? Everyone was stupefied. Even the black demon had an ugly expression on his face. Damn it! Draw your blade for me. He was mad with anger. Unexpectedly, the other party still hadn't drawn his saber. Just a wave of his arm was enough to break his attack. This infuriated black demon so much that he vomited blood. He didn't believe that the other party would be so powerful. Kill! With a furious roar, the black demon quickly charged forward. In the blink of an eye, he arrived beside Huang Fu Baitian as the black halberd in his hand flickered continuously. Countless terrifying attacks were launched at Huang Fu Baitian. At this moment, Huang Fu Baitian made his move. His figure was extremely fast, as if he could escape into the void, easily dodging hundreds of attacks. Then he appeared in another part of the void. You're not good enough. You're not qualified for me to draw my blade. Huang Fu Baitian's cold voice sounded again, causing everyone's scalp to go numb. The elders in the distance also frowned. Their eyelids were twitching wildly. Heavens! Has Huang Fu Baitian become so terrifying? Could it be that the gap between them was so huge? This was something that he had never thought of before. Lin Xian and Zhong Linxiu were equally shocked. The strength that Huang Fu Baitian displayed at this moment had truly shocked everyone. The black demon was going crazy with anger. His entire face was distorted. How could the other party still not draw his blade? Was he looking down on him? He roared at the sky, causing the entire world to tremble. Black demonic aura rose into the sky like thousands of demonic dragons. Armageddon, Black Dragon Fist. This time he did not wave his black halberd, but his fist. The terrifying fist blossomed with a jet-black light, accompanied by strange runes one after another. They were like stars tumbling in the sky. The powerful force tore everything apart. It was too terrifying. Many sky prides were already pressed to the ground, trembling. Armageddon, Black Dragon Fist. It was actually that kind of fist technique that the black demon had mastered. This black demon was too terrifying. He wondered if Huang Fu Baitian should draw his saber. If Huang Fu Baitian did not draw his blade, then he would be too heaven-defying. Armageddon, Black Dragon Fist? You're not trash after all. You can actually master such a fist technique. Very well, you're worthy of me drawing my blade. Huangfu Baitian's eyes were sharp. At this moment, he seemed to have turned into a peerless blade god, holding the long blade on his back. With a clang, the blade flashed, and a huge crack of hundreds of thousands of miles shot into the sky. The entire sky seemed to have been split in half. Buzz! With a slash of the blade, the demonic aura that filled the sky disappeared, and the countless black dragon fist shadows were completely shattered. This saber strike destroyed everything. The Armageddon Black Dragon Fist was broken. Boom, boom, boom. With a slash of the blade, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The sky prides and experts below fainted from fear. Was this Huangfu Baitian's strength? Xueling trembled. Yi Fei's face turned pale, and Wang Ji clenched his fists with his eyes wide open. As for Yuan Kuei, Yu Song, and the others, their blood froze and their souls trembled. It was too terrifying. No one could block this saber strike. Buzz! In the distance, the elders also rose to their feet with their eyes wide open. Their gazes were like rainbows that pierced through the void. This slash, this saber technique, this Huangfu Baitian was incredible. The first elder's eyes emitted a piercing cold light. He clapped his hands and laughed. What a surprise! That's right. Everyone knew that Huangfu Baitian was strong, but they did not know how strong he was. It seemed that he was ridiculously strong. With Huangfu Baitian here, the full moon peak would definitely not be last in the competition between the four peaks. Even though they might not be able to defeat the North Beast, they should be able to compete for second place. Not necessarily the woman from the Nimble Valley was also very terrifying. It did not matter. Even if they were not second, they would at least be third. This time they would not be last. The elders were extremely excited, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying crack in the sky continued to expand. Black Demon, on the other hand, kept retreating. His face was also filled with shock. He had drawn his saber. He had really drawn his saber. However, the outcome had shocked him. Chapter 3045. His peerless fist technique was shattered by his opponent's blade. There was no way for him to defend himself. You finally unsheathed your blade. Although the apocalyptic Black Dragon Fist was broken, the Heimo was extremely excited. He still had a trump card that he could use. Buzz! Countless demonic runes appeared on the Heimo's body. The entire sky darkened, and the terrifying aura made everyone faint. At this moment, the Heimo was like a peerless demon king that could shatter heaven and earth. A black moon seemed to have appeared in the sky. It was extremely terrifying as it spun rapidly. Moon Soul. Is this the Heimo's Moon Soul? He has refined it to such a level. It's not a simple Moon Soul. The Heimo has activated his bloodline power. The demonic runes on his body are definitely the power of his bloodline. Exclamations could be heard as the crowd trembled. With the power of his bloodline combined with the Moon Soul, the Heimo was going all out. He was not holding back at all. After all, his opponent was Digabatian. Buzz! He held the black halberd again and swung it. The sky was overturned and turned into a terrifying black hole that could devour everything. It wanted to devour Huangfu Baitian. Take my strongest attack. Apocalyptic Black Dragon Wave. The halberd in his hand seemed to have come to life and turned into a black dragon that he held in his hand. At the same time, the Heimo's entire right arm emitted a black light. Demonic runes were spinning rapidly. A powerful energy burst out. This energy was too strong. It could destroy everything. The expressions of the two judges changed. At this moment, the Grand Elder shouted coldly and activated the array formation. Immediately, many of the surrounding elders moved. They formed hand seals, and countless runes lit up on the entire mountain, forming a defensive array that protected the full moon peak. Otherwise, This attack would have created a hole in the full moon peak. After the array was activated, old Zhang heaved a sigh of relief. The other sky prides also calmed down. Their faces were extremely pale. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with stars as he stared at the two figures in the sky. Apocalyptic black dragon wave. The He Mo's right arm suddenly exploded with energy. The halberd in his hand turned into a black dragon. The dragon opened its mouth and black waves were shot out. They swept forward and enveloped Huangfu Beitian. Chop! Huangfu Beitian snorted coldly as the saber in his hand slashed down. It was as if it could destroy everything in its path. The saber slashed down. Boom! This was a terrifying confrontation. The world-destroying black dragon wave was the Black Devil's strongest attack. Huangfu Beitian's slash was even more terrifying. The two collided, emitting a thunderous sound. The void continued to collapse as energy surged wildly. Endless runes formed a storm that wreaked havoc in all directions. Ka. The black runes in the sky shattered, and the black dragon howled as it was cut in half by the saber. The black demon also retreated. His bones were broken, and he fell to the ground. Bang! The entire land began to shake, and dust rose into the air within a radius of 1,000,000 miles. Injured! He Mo was actually injured. Everyone exclaimed. The hearts of those elders also rose to their throats. After Black Demon landed on the ground, he spat out a large mouthful of blood. Damn it! I refused to accept this. His strongest attack was actually countered by someone. However, he refused to accept it. He still wanted to soar into the sky, but Huangfu Beitian snorted coldly in the sky. He waved his hand, and a saber light slashed down. It grew bigger and bigger, like a mountain, completely suppressing the black demon. Under the saber light, He Mo's body trembled. You've lost. In the sky, He Mo's voice was cold. He did not attack again and withdrew his saber. He stepped into the air and walked into the distance. Damn it! Damn it! He Mo was so angry that he went crazy. The clouds within a radius of 1,000,000 miles were all shattered by him. However, he still could not change the outcome. Everyone in the surroundings was also shocked and silent. They were completely stunned. This battle was really too terrifying. He Mo had used all his means, but there was nothing he could do. Huangfu Beitian's saber was too amazing. Was that Huangfu Beitian's ultimate move? Not necessarily. Why do I feel like it's a casual attack from Huangfu Beitian? Don't scare me. Has Huangfu Beitian become so terrifying? At this moment, countless geniuses trembled with excitement as they looked at Huangfu Beitian with admiration. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Huangfu Beitian is so strong. He's ridiculously strong. He could not see through his opponent's strength. Zhong Lingxiu's eyes flickered. No one knew what she was thinking. The others, such as Yi Fei, Xueling, and Wang Ji, were also shocked. They swallowed their saliva. Fortunately, they did not challenge Huangfu Beitian previously. Otherwise, they did not dare to imagine. They did not expect the gap to be so big. He Mo's admiration was not undeserved. Huangfu Beitian was really too strong, ridiculously strong. Those elders also sighed one after another. Their eyes were filled with excitement. Indeed, He Mo was defeated, but that did not mean that he was weak. On the contrary, He Mo was very strong. However, Huangfu Beitian was unbelievably strong. It could be said that He Mo could be proud that he could make Huangfu Beitian use his saber. Although many elders around praised him, He Mo's face was gloomy. He came to the side. The demonic qi on his body was still emitting a terrifying light, so no one dared to approach him. Angry, he was too angry. He was still in second place, and he was still defeated by Huangfu Beitian. He did not even know how much power Huangfu Beitian had used. In the eyes of everyone, the second place was incomparably dazzling. However, He Mo was furious. One had to know that he had mastered the apocalyptic black dragon wave and was full of confidence. He thought that he could use this great ability to defeat Huangfu Beitian. But in this battle, he lost very thoroughly. Damn it, next time. I won't lose in the next competition between the 4 peaks. He Mo gritted his teeth. He swore that this was his last defeat. From now on, he would not be defeated again. Following He Mo's defeat against Huangfu Beitian, the first round of challenges came to an end. Everyone had 6 hours to rest. After 6 hours, the second round of the competition began. Therefore, those injured and monstrous geniuses who had finished participating in the competition began to crazily swallow pills to recover and improve themselves so that they could face the next round. 6 hours passed very quickly. The monstrous geniuses had many fortuitous encounters and were rich, so they used their treasures without hesitation. Finally, many people recovered. Some people even reached the peak. Everyone's eyes were shining, and they were even more excited. That was because this was their last chance. If they failed, no one knew how many years they would have to wait. Although they were all young geniuses and had a lot of time, in the Battle of Emperor Road, if they fell one step behind, they might fall behind for life. No one would give up on this last chance. This round of competition would be even more intense. Sure enough, everyone used all their trump cards without holding anything back. Among them, Sidu Haoyan made it to the 15th place and succeeded. Zhong Lingxiu was even more shocking. She made it to the 10th place. This battle was truly incomparably terrifying. Chapter 3046. A green lotus appeared beside Zhong Lingxiu. It swayed gently, and the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. As a result, Huangfu Beitian opened his eyes in astonishment. Yi Fei, Xueling, and the rest were even more surprised. For a moment, countless gazes and discussions surrounded the surroundings. Those elders were also shocked. What was that green lotus? Could it be something? Impossible. When did such a terrifying person come out of the Tao, Holy Land? These elders also seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. This jump in ranking was too strong. She had already entered the top 10. Even Lin Xian didn't enter, but Zhong Lingxiu actually did. The first elder was also surprised. At the same time, he narrowed his eyes. Zhong Lingxiu, Tao Holy Land. His body was slightly excited. Lin Xian was also surprised. He didn't expect that apart from him, there was actually such a powerful dark horse on the human side. The other party wasn't the successor of a great emperor like Yan Nantian, nor was she the descendant of an emperor clan like Yi Wu Dao, but a genius from the Tao Holy Land. Previously, she didn't reveal her strength. Before entering the House of Prodigy, he hadn't even heard of her name. But now, she soared into the sky and entered the top 10 of Full Moon Peak. One had to know that in the outside world, this was enough to sweep away the vast majority of the human race's geniuses. Even those ancient races were no match for her. Previously, geniuses like Huomuzhen and Fire Dragon King might not even be able to enter the rankings in the House of Prodigy. One could imagine how terrifying the monstrous geniuses inside were. However, among so many monstrous geniuses, Zhong Lingxiu was actually able to enter the top 10. This big sister was so powerful. The 1-pound Xinjingqiu was also surprised. Qinggu, who was in the distance, also exclaimed softly. Unexpectedly, another group of dark horses had appeared. The Crimson Dragon stared at Zhong Lingxiu nonstop. Oh my, this is incredible. He seemed to have made a major discovery. What did he discover? Lin Xian asked. The Crimson Dragon said, Do you know that the Tao Holy Land has a legendary terrifying physique? Tao physique. Tao physique? Just hearing this name, one knew that it was terrifying. Those related to the Tao were definitely not simple. What kind of physique was this? Lin Xian asked. The Crimson Dragon said, It had a terrifying constitution. It is not weaker than your 9-yang divine body, nor is it weaker than the saint body. It was one of the most powerful and terrifying physiques in the world. In fact, it was even more terrifying. However, he rarely appeared, because as soon as they appeared, they would sweep through the 8 wastelands. Very few people were their match. Among the great emperors, there were some who had such a constitution. Upon hearing the Crimson Dragon's words, Shen Jingqiu was shocked. Lin Xian's eyelids were also twitching. Was there such a constitution among the great emperors? Too strong, the Crimson Dragon said. Of course, I'm just guessing. I'm not completely sure. This was because once the Taoist body was formed, even if one had not reached the Saint Realm, they could still use the laws of heaven and earth. If she really had the Tao flesh, even the first-ranked Huangfu Beitian would not stand a chance against her, let alone being ranked 10th. Even the 10,000 demon body might not be able to defeat her. What? This time, Lin Xian was truly shocked. Even if one wasn't a saint, they would still be able to use the laws. This was definitely an incredible matter. One had to know that only saints possessed laws and Tao patterns. But now, there was actually someone below the saint realm who could use them. They could indeed control the power of heaven and earth now. But this power was not laws. The difference between the two was too great. There was even a fundamental difference. A person who used laws could easily kill them. If this Zhong Lingxiu really had the Tao flesh, then she would definitely be one of the most powerful enemies on the path to becoming a great emperor. However, Lin Xian was also suspicious. Zhong Lingxiu was powerful, but she was not powerful to the point of defying the heavens. Therefore, he was very suspicious whether the other party had the Tao flesh or not. However, now was not the time for him to think too much, because he was about to enter the arena. Lin Xian stood up and walked towards the arena in front. As he stood up, everyone stopped discussing and looked at him. The next moment, exclamations erupted again. Lin Xian was about to make his move. Yes, Lin Xian was one of the dark horses. The power that he displayed previously was not weaker than Zhong Lingxiu at all. Who knew what rank he could reach this time? He had already defeated Yu Song and was absolutely qualified to reach the top 10. Who knew if he would make a move against Zhong Lingxiu? Really hoped to see the appearance of the 2 dark horses exchanging blows. Screams sounded out one after another. Those elders were also looking forward to it, because previously they were not optimistic about Lin Xian. But the strength that Lin Xian displayed let these people know that this was absolutely a terrifying heaven's chosen. This time, what kind of performance the other party would have, they were also very much looking forward to it. This guy should have the strength to charge into the top 10. Indeed, if it was not the 10th, it would be the 9th. In short, he could enter. Who knew if he would fight with Zhong Lingxiu? Hard to say. If these 2 people were to fight, it was really not certain who would win and who would lose. These elders were discussing in the distance. First elder's gaze became fiery. Could he finally see the other party's true strength clearly? This was the final round. He knew that Lin Xian absolutely had to display powerful strength. After all, Lin Xian's ambition was not small. He wanted to comprehend the full moon wordless steel. Let me see just how strong you really are, all right? First elder was looking forward to it in his heart. Countless gazes all looked over. Yu Song, Yuan Kuei, Lu Yanan, Wang Ji, Yi Fei, Xueling. Everyone's gaze all looked at Lin Xian. Even Zhong Lingxiu also looked over with a trace of strange energy in her eyes. Lin Xian's gaze swept across these experts and did not stop. It did not even linger on Zhong Lingxiu. This made everyone curious. Who was the other party going to attack? Not Zhong Lingxiu. Then it should be the 9th place. This kid's strength was too strong. It should be the standard between the 10th and 9th place. It was impossible to go any higher. Yes, the top 5 was basically hopeless. The top 5 were too strong. They were not on the same level at all. These people were fiercely discussing. However, in the next moment, they were all dumbfounded. Even their bodies trembled and almost wet themselves. Lin Xian stood up and said again, "I want to challenge the Onyx Demon." As soon as these words came out, many people directly vomited blood. The corners of those elders' mouths also twitched. There was no end to this. The Onyx Demon was also angry. He suddenly stood up. "Kid, if you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." He was really too angry. This kid had said more than once that he wanted to challenge him. He did not expect that this time. He actually dared to challenge him again. Previously, the other party might not know his strength. Now that he displayed supreme strength that could instantly kill Wang Ji and the other party actually dared to challenge him? Where did the confidence in the square come from? The others were also dumbfounded. What the F***CK? What did this kid say? He still wants to challenge the Onyx Demon? Does he know what he's talking about? Did he not watch the previous matches? The Onyx Demon is so strong. Other than Huang Fubatian, no one is a match for him. This kid thinks he's strong. Just because he defeated Yu Song, he's qualified to challenge the Onyx Demon? Not to mention the Onyx Demon, he can't even beat Wang Ji. I think Wang Ji can instantly kill him in one move. Chapter 3047. Lin Xian was not angry. He said indifferently, "What? You lost to Huang Fubatian once. Are you afraid of losing to me a second time? If that's the case, admit defeat and I can spare you this time." "Kid, if you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." The Black Demon walked up with a murderous aura. He was extremely furious, as he was already feeling extremely displeased when he lost to Huang Fubatian. There was a murderous intent in his heart that he had yet to vent. Now that Lin Xian had provoked him, he decided to vent his anger on Lin Xian. He wanted Lin Xian to suffer a fate worse than death. What? The Black Demon is going to fight? Everyone was shocked. Even the two judging elders were extremely shocked. They looked at the first elder and asked for his opinion. The first elder shook his head slightly. "Don't worry about it. Let the competition proceed naturally." Hearing that, the two elders sighed. Since the first elder had said so, they could not stop him. They merged into the void, but they had already decided to save Lin Xian's life at the critical moment. They definitely could not let this kid be crippled. The judges didn't stop him. The Black Demon is really going to fight. This is going to be interesting. How many moves can this kid block? How many moves can he block? He can't even block one move. The Black Demon could probably kill him with a single glance. No one was optimistic about Lin Xian's chances. The judges also wanted to save Lin Xian's life at the critical moment. Yi Fei, Xueling, Wang Qi, and the others had serious expressions. They did not know where Lin Xian's courage came from. The Black Demon walked up with a terrifying aura. "Kid, I'll let you know the price of provoking me. I'll torture you to death." After he came up, he did not move at all. Black light burst out from his eyes and pierced forward. Instantly, it turned into two black holes that destroyed everything. It seemed that Lin Xian was about to be swallowed up. The Black Demon was going to kill him with his gaze. Haha, this kid is going to be unlucky. Many people below sneered. Being killed with a single glance was definitely the most humiliating defeat. It seemed that this kid was going to be humiliated today. Looking at this scene, Lin Xian's expression was solemn. He did not dare to be careless. The next moment, his left hand clenched into a fist. He punched out. Boom! A terrifying light flashed, and the entire void trembled before it was completely shattered. The two black holes in the sky also ceased to exist. Not only that, a terrifying fist smashed towards Black Demon, causing Black Demon to be stunned. Black Demon was taken aback. He quickly retreated, but he had been too careless. From the beginning to the end, he had never taken Lin Xian seriously. In his opinion, he could kill Lin Xian with a single glance. But who would have thought that his opponent's punch would be so terrifying. He couldn't dodge at all. He could only take it head-on. His left hand turned into a black firmament and slammed forward. It was as if countless mountains were crashing down, producing rumbling sounds. However, under Lin Xian's punch, the black sky shattered and thousands of mountains collapsed. The black demon was pushed back. He retreated quite a distance before stopping. His armor was in tatters. Everyone was stunned. Even the judges and elders were stunned. They widened their eyes and even rubbed their eyes with their hands. They found that it was true. Lin Xian had actually forced the black demon back with a single punch, and black demon was even injured. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. One had to know that black demon was ranked second in Plenilune Wind. He was second only to Huangfu Beitian. Other than losing to Huangfu Beitian, he had never been defeated. Even an expert like Wang Qi could be killed in one move. But now he was actually pushed back by Lin Xian with one punch. That was too unbelievable. That was too scary. One had to know that Lin Xian was just a newcomer. A newcomer pushed Black Demon back with one punch. What kind of concept was that? That was even more terrifying than Zhong Lingxiu. This was simply a freak, a monster. Unicorn King and Blue Wing King screamed. Damn it, that was impossible. How could he push Lord Black Demon back? Yuan Kuei's body trembled. He was actually so strong. Lu Yanen's eyes widened. He did it. He really did it. Wang Qi, Yi Fei, and Xue Ling were all stunned. At this moment, the entire arena was eerily silent. Countless geniuses and elders were dumbfounded, as if they were wooden chickens. The first elder took a deep breath, and a piercing light burst out from his eyes. He did it. That kid really did it. He knew that Lin Xian was not that simple. However, he was also shocked because he did not expect Lin Xian to be so powerful. How was that possible? I was pushed back. In the arena, Black Demon's body trembled and his eyes were bloodshot. He did not dare to believe it, but the broken armor on his body and the injuries in his body told him that he was really pushed back. Moreover, he was injured. How could his opponent have such terrifying strength? Damn it, that kid had been hiding his strength. Ah, I'm going to kill you, Black Demon roared. It did not matter if his opponent was hiding his strength or not. He had never been pushed back by anyone other than Huangfu Beitian. He could not accept that. Kid, I'll kill you. Black Demon charged over again. An incomparable light burst out from his body, like a black sun that was burning fiercely, illuminating the entire sky. Boundless demonic qi surged, like waves that hung upside down in the sky. At that moment, the aura that Black Demon displayed was too shocking and extremely dangerous. Even the elders' faces were filled with fear. It's over. Black Demon is angry. Black Demon was really angry. He did not have such an aura when he fought Wang Qi and Xue Ling previously. That's right. He only displayed such a terrifying aura when he fought Huangfu Beitian. The Black Devil was actually going to use his true strength to fight. Lin Xian was definitely going to die. Lin Xian was not weak either. He was able to push Black Demon back with one punch. His strength was definitely in the top 5. That kid's sneak attack was nothing. Everyone was discussing and arguing fiercely. The scene was very chaotic. Of course, they were retreating while discussing because the aura that Black Demon displayed was too terrifying. They did not dare to get close at all. In the arena, Lin Xian felt the powerful aura of his opponent, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. Was he finally going to use his true strength? Well, he could use his full strength to fight. The sword light in his eyes was piercingly cold, and his voice was sonorous. What? Fight with his full strength? Everyone gasped. He dared to say such a thing in the face of such a terrifying Black Demon? Could it be that this kid had not used his full strength before? That was really shocking. Fight with his full strength? You have no chance. Kid, I don't care what trump cards you have or what talent you have. You won't be able to escape death today. With a flip of his palm, Black Demon took out his black divine halberd. With a clang, the entire world seemed to be frozen. Boundless black aura rolled and turned into hell. A terrifying, murderous aura soared into the sky. Boom! The attack fell. And the entire sky was filled with it. It was like a huge dragon descending. The boundless divine power surged endlessly, causing the spectators' hair to stand on end. At this moment, Yi Fei and the others trembled. Huang Fu Beitian opened his eyes. He did not expect He Emo to bring out such strength. He did not know if the kid opposite him would be able to withstand it. Chapter 3048. Lin Xian's body glowed as a dragon's roar resounded from within his body. He pulled out the blazing Qilin sword and waved it. Terrifying sword qi shot out in all directions. Boom! The sword qi collided with the black demonic aura, producing an earth-shattering sound. The terrifying demonic aura was completely destroyed. It was destroyed! The surrounding geniuses were shocked. The elders swallowed their saliva frantically. Die for me! The black demon's face turned extremely ugly when he saw this. The black halberd in his hand slashed down again. The world was collapsing rapidly. The boundless demonic aura transformed into the most terrifying divine ability. It wanted to tear Lin Xian apart. Lin Xian let out a long roar as a sharp sword light burst out from his eyes. The nine-yang sword technique slashed all the demonic aura. He was like a god of war as he charged over quickly. It was destroyed. All of them were destroyed. The surrounding geniuses went crazy. The black demon's face also changed. Damn it. Impossible. I don't believe it. How could you destroy it so easily? Who are you? Who are you? The black demon screamed crazily. It was too unbelievable. With his great ability, he could easily defeat people like Yi Fei and Xueling. But now his divine ability was easily destroyed by the other party. Was the other party a newcomer? He wouldn't believe it even if he was beaten to death. Who was this person? Lin Xian actually blocked the black demon's attack. Heavens, he was too terrifying. Not only that, he wasn't injured at all. This kid's strength was definitely not weaker than the black demon's. What kind of divine being was this? Ha 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 ha, kid, well done. The crimson dragon laughed in the crowd. Xin Jingqiu also clapped and cheered. In the distance, the corners of Qing Wu's mouth twitched. Her beautiful eyes were filled with shock. This kid was the successor of the great dragon sword, and he was the successor of the nine-yang divine body. How could he be weak? He set off the 9 heavy waves as soon as he arrived. How could he be weak? Rumor had it that he condensed the power of the moon spirit in 2 hours. I didn't believe it before, but now I'm starting to believe it. At this moment, all kinds of legends about Lin Xian were dug up again. Everyone was originally mocking and disdainful, but now they were terrified and trembling, because Lin Xian's strength was too strong. How could the legends of such a person be false? The surrounding geniuses were dumbfounded. Even Yi Fei, Xueling, and the rest were no exception. Not to mention them, even the elders were scared silly. Their mouths were wide open. The great elder clenched his fists, his expression agitated. Ah, only one person was incomparably furious, and that was the black demon. He roared crazily, and the sky split open. He was mad with anger. He had never imagined that apart from Huang Fu Beitian, there was actually someone who could contend against him. And Lin Xianlin's strength. On the other side, Lin Xian was unusually powerful. Golden blood, qi, surged into the sky, and the sword qi in his hand shone brightly. Lin Xian's sword. Lin Xian's Lin, Xian's Lin. Lin Xian was very excited because his opponent was an elite that was worthy of him taking seriously. Lin Xian's sword Qi slashed across the sky. It seemed to be able to destroy everything. It was very strange and terrifying. Lin Xian's sword Qi slashed across the sky. Even time seemed to have stopped. Everyone's body stiffened. They felt like they were about to be destroyed. What sword technique is that? It doesn't seem to be the Nine-Yang sword technique. No, what sword technique is that? Even the elders were shocked. The Crimson Dragon was also shocked. That brat's sword technique and sword Qi have become stronger, especially his sword Qi. It's much stronger than before. Where has that brat been for the past few days? Lin Xian had devoured many sword spirit beasts in the wasteland. That was why his sword Qi had increased. Moreover, this sword technique was restored from the 13 sword scars. He called it the Green Lotus sword technique. He used the first sword technique of the Green Lotus sword technique and slashed forward, heaven-shattering 8 styles. On the other side, Black Demon roared. His black halberd stirred the void like a mountain. The two collided. A terrifying sword light flashed. Boundless demonic Qi shook and shattered the entire world. However, after the first sword strike, the second sword strike followed. Lin Xian's sword technique broke through the void and hit the black halberd. Black Demon's arm went numb and he kept retreating. Damn it, he's so strong. Black Demon was shocked. It was his first time experiencing the power of the Nine-Yang divine body. This power caused his expression to change. He snorted coldly. He was unwilling to fight. He used his ultimate movement technique and walked quickly like a stream of light. He instantly charged forward. Buzz! Above his head, boundless demonic Qi surged and turned into a black moon. It kept spinning. The black moon was like a millstone that could destroy the world, fixed in the void. A terrifying and mysterious aura spread out, pressing down on the sky prides below. This is the power of the moon spirit. It has been trained to such a terrifying level by Black Demon. Brat, let's see how you'll die. Black Demon shouted coldly. At this moment, he displayed his powerful combat strength. Lin Xian's expression was cold. The power of the moon spirit? A golden light appeared in his eyes. However, he did not immediately use the power of the moon spirit. Instead, he used the 3rd and 4th sword of the Green Lotus sword technique. 2 piercingly cold sword techniques streaked across the sky, appearing mysterious and unfathomable, causing the entire sky to tremble. It's useless. You can't beat the power of my moon spirit. Black Demon shouted, and the black moon quickly pressed down. The 3rd and 4th sword Qi kept shaking and rolling. Then they cracked. Seeing this, Black Demon laughed. I've said it before. From now on, I won't be defeated again. Indeed, he had sworn before that he would not be defeated again. Lin Xian snorted coldly after hearing this. Won't be defeated again? You're too naive. There's so many experts in the world. How dare you say that you won't be defeated again? What a joke! As he spoke, the 5th and 6th sword strikes flew out. If one were to take a closer look, they would realize that Lin Xian's sword techniques could already form a lotus flower if they were to be combined. However, it was not a blooming lotus flower. Even so, it was still very terrifying. As expected, under the power of the 5th and 6th sword strikes, the black moon kept rolling. The boundless demonic energy shattered the void. Black Demon's expression changed. He roared angrily and activated the moon's soul once again, as if he had gone mad. The black moon fell crazily. Humph! Lin Xian sneered. Whoosh! 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 The first 6 sword strikes were used again. They formed a green lotus flower in the sky. With a clang, it blocked the black moon. Not only that, when the 7th sword Qi was released, the green lotus bloomed and the black moon collapsed. The surrounding people all screamed. What kind of sword technique is this? It actually shattered the black moon. Heavens, how did he do it? The first elder's eyes flashed. This kid's strength has increased. As a sage, he could naturally see the changes in Lin Xian's strength. Could it be that this kid had some fortuitous encounter in the ruins? Chapter 3049. Thinking about it, it made sense. The ruins were split open by a peerless powerhouse, so there must be shocking sword intent and sword Dao secrets left on it. Lin Xian was also a swordsman, so he must have had a fortuitous encounter on it. Thinking of this, the first elder became even more excited. I wonder if this kid can defeat Heimo. Black Dragon Sky Diagram. Heimo roared again, his hair dancing wildly like a peerless demon king. The black halberd in his hand rose into the air and merged into the void. Not only that, Heimo opened his mouth and spat out a broken scroll. It merged with the black halberd and turned into a sky. A terrifying aura filled the air and endless runes fell. It was too terrifying. What kind of ability was this? Everyone was shocked. They did not expect Heimo to have such a terrifying ability other than the Black Dragon Annihilation Wave. This ability was not used in the battle with Huangfu Beitian previously. It seemed that Heimo was indeed terrifying and had many trump cards. Seeing this, the first elder also shouted coldly and activated the defensive formation. Boom, boom, boom. Defensive formations appeared in the surroundings again. Obviously, the combat level had surpassed before and reached the level of Heimo and Huangfu Beitian. Huangfu Tian's eyes were piercingly cold as he stared at the two figures in the sky. There was also a trace of surprise in his eyes, because he did not expect Lin Xian to be able to display such strength. To be honest, he had never paid attention to Lin Xian before. Even Zhong Lingxiu, he did not take a second look, because, in his opinion, although these two dark horses were strong, they could only make it to the top 10. If they could not even make it to the top 5, let alone fight him. In the entire Full Moon Peak, he had no opponent at all. If there was an opponent, it would be the first place of the other 3 peaks. That was his true opponent. But now, the strength that Lin Xian displayed surprised him. He could actually force Heimo to such a state. He could even activate the defensive formation of the Full Moon Peak. This surprised him greatly. Therefore, he could not help but start to pay attention to Lin Xian. Black Dragon Sky Diagram. Lin Xian looked up at the sky. Endless runes fell from the sky and were split apart by his green lotus sword technique. At the same time, he waved his hand and a black war chariot appeared in front of him. This black war chariot was very simple and unadorned. The black lines on its surface were incomparably dark, as if they were made up of demonic runes. The moment he appeared, he attracted everyone's attention. What was that? A war chariot? Was it a magic treasure? He didn't know. Everyone was puzzled. Lin Xian struck out a spell, and instantly a fiery dragon-shaped sword Qi rushed out and coiled around the black chariot, forming a fiery dragon chariot. Wang! The fiery dragon chariot was activated. Countless runes flickered as it fought against the black dragon diagram in the sky. Then it defied the heavens and clashed with the black dragon diagram. When the two collided, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. It was as if the end of the world had arrived. The entire sky was blasted apart. Boundless energy surged, causing the surroundings to tremble. Fortunately, First Elder had activated the defensive array formation in advance. Otherwise, Full Moon Peak would have been smashed into pieces. It's useless, you can't block the Black Dragon transforming heavenly diagram. This was a saint's rune. No matter how strong you are, you won't be able to block it. Black Demon was extremely confident, but soon his face darkened and even became ferocious. That was because he realized that the other party had blocked it. Not only that, but the other party had even almost shattered his black dragon diagram. How was that possible? What was that black war chariot. Could it be that it also had a saint's rune? He was too shocked that the other party had such a thing in his hands. In his opinion, that was just an ordinary half-step sacred artifact. It could not be compared to his black dragon diagram at all. But now it was beyond his expectations. Lin Xian's eyes flickered with golden light. He naturally saw Black Demon's expression clearly. Immediately he sneered. "Why? Are you very surprised? To be honest, I really didn't take you seriously." Hearing that, Black Demon was so angry that he vomited blood. Didn't take him seriously? What a joke! Even Huangfu Beitian might not dare to say such a thing. But the other party dared to be so arrogant. "Kid, I'll let you see my strongest attack." Speaking of that, the black halberd flew down from the black dragon diagram again and was caught by Black Demon. In the next moment, Black Demon's right arm suddenly expanded. Countless black runes emitted a terrifying aura. Apocalyptic black dragon wave. Black Demon was going to unleash his strongest attack. At this moment, countless experts looked up at the sky because they knew that the outcome would be decided soon. Lin Xian frowned. World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. It was indeed very strong. He had seen it before. Its power surpassed the majority of divine abilities and could pose a threat to him. However, he had a way to break the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. He had seen it once before. Although the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave was powerful, it also had flaws. Buzz! Golden runes flickered in his eyes. A golden moon floated up and down as if it wanted to pierce through everything. "Useless kid. Don't even think about breaking my World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave." The aura on Black Demon's body became more and more terrifying. The black halberd in his hand turned into a black dragon. The dragon opened its head and a terrifying energy rushed out. The sky fell and the earth cracked. The terrifying energy completely enveloped a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles, forming a huge black hole in the sky. Lin Xian felt a powerful force coming towards him. Buzz! He activated the 9-yang divine body, and a powerful force bloomed. The energy of the World Annihilation Black Dragon wave hit the 9-yang divine body and made an earth-shaking sound. Lin Xian faced the attack like a fiend god. Clang! 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 He was under great pressure. There were even many places that became dim. However, the 9-yang divine body was very strong. It forcibly resisted the pressure, allowing Lin Xian's speed to reach the extreme. The long sword in Lin Xian's hand continued to bloom. The green Lotus 13 swords were displayed by him, forming huge green lotuses that bloomed in the sky. They destroyed the terrifying World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. Lin Xian arrived in front of Black Demon. How was this possible? Black Demon was stunned. In the distance, the elders were also stunned. Huangfu Baitian's eyes burst out with a biting cold light. It was like a divine blade that pierced through the void. They were too shocked. They didn't expect Lin Xian to be so powerful. He could actually kill the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. The others were stunned. They couldn't see. The sky was pitch black and could even devour souls. What had happened? Xueling, Yi Fei, and the others also shook their heads. They couldn't see clearly. Perhaps Huangfu Beitian could see clearly. They looked at Huangfu Beitian. They saw Huangfu Beitian stand up from his cultivation posture with his hands behind his back. His eyes were like rainbows that could pierce through the front. The two elders were even more so. The first elder's eyes were like a divine lamp. There was a hint of excitement at the corner of his mouth. He knew that the outcome of the battle was about to be decided. Black Demon shouted angrily, "Die, kid!" Chapter 3050. So what if his opponent attacked him? He waved the halberd in his hand and stabbed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not dodge at all. His divine body glowed. With a clang, he blocked the halberd. However, the power of the black demon bloodline exploded, increasing the power of the halberd. With a puchi, it pierced through Lin Xian's body. In the sky, there was blood that scattered down, mixing with golden light as it scattered down. Someone was injured. Although the people below could not see the battle, clearly they could see the blood. It was golden blood. It was not the black demon's blood, but Lin Xian's blood. Lin Xian was injured. Seeing this scene, Du Jiao, Lan Yi, and the other prodigies laughed. Ha ha ha! I knew that Lord Black Demon would not be injured. Of course! Lord Black Demon was so powerful that no one could defeat him except for Huangfu Beitian, brother Lin Xian. Shen Jingqiu was extremely nervous, and the Crimson Dragon was shocked. In the distance, Qing Wu snorted. That kid lost in the end. The others felt their scalps go numb. Even someone as strong as Lin Xian was defeated by the Black Demon. Could it be that only Huangfu Beitian could suppress the Black Demon? The elders also had the same expression. They sighed. Even though he was defeated, it was glorious. Yes, this kid's strength was beyond our expectations. It seemed that he would become a member of the Full Moon Peak in less than 10 years. They were too excited. In the sky, in the endless flow of darkness, the Black Demon's lips curled into a sinister smile. Kid, you're injured. He was so excited that he finally injured his opponent. So what if his opponent had the 9-yang divine body? It was not a greater success divine body. He could shatter it. Lin Xian also smiled. You've lost. A piercing light burst out from his eyes, and the long sword in his hand stabbed out crazily. Red dot. Not good. The Black Demon felt a powerful threat. His glabella split open, and his soul was distorted as if it was about to be torn apart. He screamed crazily. His soul instantly soared into the sky, abandoning his physical body. There was no other way. That sword was too fatal. If he didn't run, his body and soul would probably be destroyed. In midair, the two judges were also stunned. Who would have thought that Lin Xian would have such a killer move? They wanted to attack quickly, but when they saw Black Demon's soul escape, they heaved a sigh of relief. Boom! Black Demon's glabella split open, and half of his body shattered. Black, demonic blood dripped down and fell to the ground along with his body. Below, those people were still discussing. The single-horned king, blue-winged king, and the others were laughing madly. They believed that their great black devil was unrivaled in this world. In the next moment, these people were all stunned. A black shadow fell down and landed on the arena, causing the arena to tremble nonstop. Everyone widened their eyes and looked ahead. Was the outcome already decided? It seemed that Lin Xian had been beaten down. He must have been seriously injured. Even if this kid didn't die, he would be half dead. No, it wasn't Lin Xian. It was black blood. It was Black Demon. Someone screamed. The next moment, everyone was stunned. What? Black Demon? They widened their eyes and looked carefully. His glabella was about to split open. It was really Black Demon. Black Demon's body fell on the arena. Black blood dyed the entire arena red. The surrounding void could not withstand the terrifying pressure of the bloodline. How was this possible? Yi Fei, Xueling, and the others were dumbfounded. Huangfu Beitian retracted his gaze and shook his head slightly. He also had a face of surprise. He did not expect Black Demon to be defeated. The other elders were also shocked. The first elder was extremely excited. He won. That kid actually won. His potential was simply too great. Whoosh! The clouds broke open, and the darkness was torn apart. Endless golden light scattered down. Lin Xian landed powerfully. He held the fire Qilin sword in one hand and the black halberd in the other. Like a god of war, he arrived on the arena. Although his body was injured and his 9-yang divine body was pierced, he still won this battle. Even the piercing wound did not pose a fatal threat to him. At this moment, everyone's mind was still in a daze, especially the single-horned king, Blue-Winged King, and the others. Their faces were pale and terrified. That's not right. Why didn't Black Demon move? Could it be that he was killed? Someone screamed. Indeed, they saw Black Demon's body split open. It was very terrifying. However, he did not move at all. In fact, he did not even have any aura. That shocked them. No way. Lin Xian killed Black Demon in front of the judges? They were about to pee their pants. No, look above. Yi Fei's eyes were like a rainbow. He finally saw the state of both sides. Everyone raised their heads and saw a black shadow floating above, as if it did not dare to come down. Was that Black Demon's soul? Heavens, his soul was forced out of his body and did not dare to come down. What did Lin Xian do? No one knew. Just now, it was wrapped in endless darkness. No one saw it clearly, probably other than those elders. Only Huangfu Beitian could see it clearly. Everyone looked at Huangfu Beitian. Huangfu Beitian did not say anything. He did see it clearly. That sword move made him a little moved. What kind of sword was that? If Black Demon did not run fast enough, his soul would have been destroyed by now. This kid was really a sword Dao genius. Huangfu Beitian felt pressure for the first time, and it was a heavy pressure. Black Demon could not give him this kind of pressure. Only the number one of the other peaks could give him this kind of pressure. But now, a newcomer of Full Moon Peak actually gave him such pressure. This made him feel incredulous. Winner, Lin Xian. The judge hurriedly announced the victory. Lin Xian threw the black halberd on the ground, put away the flaming war chariot, and turned to leave the arena. After Lin Xian completely left, Black Demon's soul in the sky dared to descend. He merged into his body and instantly erupted with endless demonic energy. Black Demon's face was extremely ugly. He stared at Lin Xian, but he did not dare to step forward, because he was really afraid. This battle ended with Lin Xian's victory. Everyone went crazy. They did not expect Lin Xian to be so strong. He actually defeated Black Demon. Everyone trembled. Blue-Winged King, One-Horn King Yu Song, and the others did not dare to speak anymore. They were even about to kneel down. From now on, they would never dare to provoke Lin Xian again. They were even afraid of Lin Xian's revenge. There was no other way. Even their boss, Black Demon, was no match for him, let alone them. When they thought of how they provoked him so recklessly, they almost fainted from fright. Bang, bang, bang. One-Horn King and Blue-Winged King even knelt down and kowtowed to apologize. Everyone was dumbfounded by this scene. This was the power of Lin Xian. Brother Lin Xian, are you okay? Shan Jingqiu saw the blood on Lin Xian's body and was very nervous. Lin Xian shook his head and swallowed 2 heaven and earth treasures. The 9-yang divine body bloomed with light and began to repair. Beside him, the crimson dragon exclaimed, "Kid, you actually became so strong. Where did you go?" Chapter 3051. Lin Xian said with a smile, "I went to a good place. I'll bring you along next time." While they were discussing, countless gazes were cast towards them. Zhong Lingxiu's eyes were filled with a mysterious aura as if she wanted to see through Lin Xian. The others had a look of horror and awe. In the distance, Qing Wu was also stunned, her beautiful eyes wide open. This guy actually won? She really couldn't believe it. Damn it, I have to tell my brother. This kid is a great enemy. Qing Wu didn't see any more matches. She turned around and soared into the sky. Not only her, but there were also prodigies from the other 3 peaks who came to watch the battle. They had heard of Lin Xian before. However, they never thought that Lin Xian was actually so powerful. This battle had already caused them to be terrified. They had to hurry back to report that apart from Huangfu Beitian, Lin Xian also came from Full Moon Peak. Next, the competition continued. Although it was also exciting, it was much worse than the battle between Lin Xian and Heimo. It was the fifth Wang Qi's turn. Wang Qi challenged Xueling, but he lost to Xueling in the end. Xueling also failed to challenge Yi Fei. Yu Fei took a deep breath and looked at Lin Xian and Huang Fu Beitian. He didn't challenge Lin Xian but Huang Fu Beitian. The reason for that was because he wanted to see how powerful Huang Fu Beitian was. Previously, he had used his flying dagger technique, but he was directly sent flying by Huang Fu Beitian's blade. He didn't dare to take that sharp blade light head-on at all. Just the overflowing aura alone left dozens of blade marks on his body. Therefore, Yi Fei decisively admitted defeat. However, this was also very shocking, because they realized that Huang Fu Beitian didn't dodge. It was very likely that he couldn't dodge Yi Fei's blade. Thinking of this possibility, their hearts beat wildly. Even those elders' breathing quickened. If Yi Fei's strength was a little stronger, his flying dagger would probably be so powerful that even Huang Fu Beitian wouldn't dare to take it head-on. Next, it was He Mo's turn. He Mo first stared at Lin Xian, gritting his teeth. To be honest, he couldn't believe that he would lose to his opponent. He wanted revenge. However, he soon gave up. He realized that Lin Xian's recovery was even faster than his. Although he had recovered from most of his injuries, there was still some sword intent left in his body. He was unable to unleash 100% of his strength. And from the looks of it, the other party had already fully recovered. No, he couldn't take the risk. He had to get one of the top 3 spots. How pitiful was the moon-gazing, wordless monument. Black Devil didn't challenge Lin Xian or Huang Fu Beitian. He challenged Yi Fei instead. In the end, he defeated Yi Fei. Yi Fei sighed. Originally, he had occupied 3rd place and was able to comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless steel. However, because of Lin Xian's strong entrance, he was only able to occupy 4th place. Finally, all the matches were arranged. First, Huang Fu Beitian. Second, Lin Xian. Third, Black Devil. Fourth, Yi Fei. Fifth, Xueling. Sixth, Wang Qi. Seventh, Lu Yanan. At this point, the top 3 were out. Everyone was astounded. Huang Fu Beitian was still the champion for the 2nd time. The Black Devil was now ranked 3rd. The 2nd place was Lin Xian. He was a newcomer who had just joined the moon-gazing peak a few months ago. Everyone was astounded, feeling that it was unreal. At the same time, some became excited. I wonder how this Lin Xian would fare against Huang Fu Beitian. Do you think he could defeat Huang Fu Beitian? No one knows. It's hard to say, but it might be possible. The crowd discussed among themselves as Lin Xian and Huang Fu Beitian had yet to fight. Huang Fu Beitian was not required to challenge anyone since he was ranked 1st. Meanwhile, Lin Xian had already used up his 2 chances to challenge someone. He had no chance to challenge someone else. Thus, the 2 of them did not fight. As such, no one knew about it. Hearing this, Lin Xian glanced at Huang Fu Beitian beside him. Huang Fu Beitian also turned around and glanced at him. Their gazes clashed in the air. Following this, a saber glow and a sword intent soared into the sky and intertwined, tearing the clouds apart. How powerful! The crowd was astounded. Even the Black Devil took a step back. Their auras were too powerful, to the point that even he was shocked. Damn it! The Black Devil clenched his teeth so hard that they were about to shatter. He swore that he would never be defeated again. However, he did not expect to be slapped in the face so soon. He was defeated by Lin Xian. Judging from the current situation, these 2 had completely surpassed him. No, I must comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless steel. I must surpass these 2. I'm the strongest. The Black Devil let out a furious roar. On the other side, Lin Xian was astounded. This Huang Fu Beitian was very powerful. He had far surpassed the Black Devil. I wonder what the outcome would be if I were to fight him. He could not deduce the outcome now. He would only know if he were to fight him. On the other side, Huang Fu Beitian was equally astounded. He did not expect Wang Yefeng to have someone who could pose a threat to him. He could not see through Lin Xian's strength. The first elder walked over with a smile. He was very satisfied with the outcome of the battle. Lin Xian's performance gave him a pleasant surprise. He announced the result of the competition and then gave out rewards to everyone. Everyone had a reward. However, there were many rewards for the top 10 and even more for the top 3. Each of the top 3 received a chance to go to the moon-gazing lake again. At the same time, the most important reward was that the top 3 had a chance to comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless stele. This was a great opportunity. If they could comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless stele, they would soar into the sky. At that time, they might be able to defeat the North Demon and become the number 1 person in the House of Prodigy. Next, everyone dispersed to receive their rewards. The moon-gazing, wordless stele would open in 10 days. Lin Xian, Huangfu Beitian, and the Black Devil would take advantage of this period to enter the moon-gazing lake and cultivate for half a day. Entering the moon-gazing lake again, Lin Xian felt a powerful force enveloping him. This force made him feel very comfortable. Of course, he was not careless and absorbed it with all his might. Outside, everyone was watching. Heavens! Lin Xian had condensed the 9 heavy waves. Everyone exclaimed. It couldn't be helped. Although Lin Xian was only ranked 2nd on the moon-gazing peak, the scene of him entering the moon-gazing lake was even more shocking than Huangfu Beitian. Not to mention Huangfu Beitian, even the number 1 person in the House of Prodigy, the North Demon, couldn't be compared to him. The 9 heavy waves surged between heaven and earth, stunning everyone. At the bottom of the lake, Lin Xian opened his eyes. Half a day of cultivation had greatly increased his strength, which was equivalent to hundreds of years of cultivation in the outside world. His strength had improved to the mid-9-star realm, and the force in his body was much stronger. After coming out, Lin Xian was overjoyed. He spent the remaining 9 days to consolidate his strength. Huangfu Beitian and the Black Devil also came out. They had both improved and went back to consolidate their strength. The other geniuses were also nervous and waited patiently. There were only a few days left before the moon-gazing, wordless stele opened again. This time, would anyone be able to comprehend it? They had no idea. Chapter 3052. But they knew that the chances this time would probably be much greater than before. After all, there was an additional Lin Xian. And Lin Xian was the same as Yi Guqing back then, stirring up the 9 waves. In fact, Lu Yanin and a few others knew that the other party condensed the moon soul in 2 hours. This kind of talent could be rated as heaven-defying. It was even more terrifying than Yi Guqing. Back then, Yi Guqing successfully comprehended the moon-gazing, wordless stele. Wonder if Lin Xian could successfully comprehend it this time? Everyone, including Head Elder and the rest, carried a feeling of anticipation and nervousness. 9 days passed. Finally, the 10th day arrived. The blazing sun rose, sunlight scattered all over Moon-Gazing Peak. On this day, everyone woke up early, everyone was excited. They knew that today was the day the moon-gazing, wordless stele opened. Yi Fei came, Xueling came, Wang Ji came, those people all came. Black Fiend came out. The aura on his body was even more terrifying than 10 days ago. However, his expression was somewhat gloomy and cold. Very clearly, the defeat previously made him very unhappy. Huangfu Beitian also appeared, carrying a long saber on his back, like a saber god. His gaze looked around. When he saw Black Fiend, he only gave him a glance and ignored him, because Black Fiend was not his match. He was looking for someone who could give him pressure. That person was naturally Lin Xian. Not just him, Black Fiend was also looking for the other party. Head Elder, Yi Fei, and the rest were also looking. Very soon, their brows raised. They discovered that the other party had arrived. Lin Xian was still dressed in red robes, his face handsome. He was abnormally calm as he walked over. Everyone's gazes fell on him. Black Fiend snorted coldly, his eyes erupting with piercing, cold, killing intent. Huangfu Baiqian's gaze was deep. Zhong Lingxiu had a mysterious look. However, everyone was stunned. They could not see through Lin Xian's actual situation. Those elders were also surprised. Head elder sighed. This kid was very mysterious. Indeed, if he did not execute law, he could not see clearly. Lin Xian's arrival undoubtedly attracted everyone's attention. One after another, discussions and exclamations fell on him. The void cracked open, and in the sky there were nomological laws floating. The sage had arrived. Had the Peak Lord come out of seclusion? Everyone looked up and saw a middle-aged man in a Taoist robe descending from the sky. It was the Peak Lord of the Full Moon Peak. The Peak Master of the Full Moon Peak looked to be in his 30s, but everyone knew that he was an old monster who had lived for thousands of years. Everyone cupped their fists and bowed, greeting the Peak Lord. The Full Moon Peak Master nodded slightly. The first elder and the other elders also walked over. At the same time, the Grand Elder spoke in a deep voice. Huangfu Baiqian, Lin Xian, Mo, the three of you step forward. Hearing this, Lin Xian and the other two walked forward while the others watched nervously from behind. Yi Fei, Xueling, and the others' eyes were filled with envy, because they were not qualified. Only the three people in front of him were qualified to comprehend it. Stars flickered in the Peak Master's eyes as he scanned Huangfu Baiqian and Lin Xian with the power of the laws. He nodded slightly. Although he already knew the results of the competition, he was still surprised when he saw Lin Xian again. He did not expect Lin Xian to be able to make it to the top 3 and even defeat Mo to obtain a spot to comprehend the full moon wordless steel. It was a pleasant surprise. Let's go. The Peak Master turned around and walked forward. The nomological laws flickered under his feet, forming a great path that carried him into the sky. The first elder and the others also followed. Lin Xian and the others rose into the sky, and behind them the prodigies of the Full Moon Peak also followed. They were very excited. Although the Full Moon Peak was named after a mountain, its territory was very large. This time their target was the mountain that was tens of thousands of feet tall. That was the main peak of the Full Moon Peak. Soon, everyone arrived in front of the main peak. Lin Xian and the others raised their heads and looked forward, exclaiming in their hearts. It was also his first time looking at the Full Moon Peak at such a close distance. The Crimson Dragon beside him muttered, "What a mysterious aura!" The Full Moon Peak was not simple. As an array formation master, he could naturally feel the terrifying and mysterious power coming from the Full Moon Peak. Buzz! At this moment, there were nomological laws waving between heaven and earth, piercing through the void and reflecting each other. The people of the Full Moon Peak raised their heads. The disciples exclaimed, "Another sage is here!" Yi Fei and the others were shocked, and they explained in a low voice that it was the Peak Masters of the other 3 peaks. Indeed, the Peak Masters of the Ethereal Peak, Exquisite Peak, and Divine Tactics Peak were all here. After all, the activation of the full moon wordless steel was also an earth-shattering event in the extraordinary warrior manner. How could they not come? The 3 Peak Masters stood in the void like god-fiends. In addition to the Peak Masters of the 3 peaks, the top prodigies and elders were also here. It could be said that the entire extraordinary warrior manor was in turmoil. In the air, a beautiful woman in a green robe attracted everyone's attention. "Fairy Qingwu!" everyone exclaimed. Next to Qingwu, there was a demonic man with a slender figure and a handsome face. His eyes carried a mysterious power. He was the strongest person of the ethereal peak, the North Demon. On the other side, at Exquisite Peak, there was a woman in a red robe with a veil on her face, and her aura was exquisite. She was the strongest person of the Exquisite Peak, Yulinglong. There was another person who was wearing a battle armor with runes flowing on his body, shining brightly like a god of war. He was the strongest person of Divine Tactics Peak, Han Fei. In addition to the strongest people of the 3 peaks, the other top prodigies were also here. All eyes fell on Lin Xian, Huangfu Beitian, and Heimo. Of course, most of them were looking at Lin Xian. That was because they were already very familiar with Huangfu Beitian and Heimo, but Lin Xian was very unfamiliar to them. They knew that he was a newcomer. At the same time, they were surprised that a newcomer could obtain the 2nd place. It was really shocking. In the distance, Qing Wu was fuming. She was very unhappy. This guy really succeeded. I'm so angry. He definitely won't be able to comprehend the full moon wordless steel. Seeing Qing Wu's angry look, the North Demon rubbed her hair and said, "Why do you have to be angry with yourself? He didn't provoke you." "Who said that? I can't stand his smug look." Qing Wu pouted. The North Demon's eyes flickered as he looked at the young man in red. "This kid is very strong and will definitely be a great enemy in the future. I just didn't expect him to grow so quickly. I wonder if he can comprehend the full moon wordless steel?" Not only him, but Yu Linglong and Han Fei also had the same thought. It couldn't be helped. The full moon wordless steel was too famous. It was rumored that it was the first divine steel of the extraordinary warrior manner. Whoever could comprehend it would be the strongest person of the extraordinary warrior manner. They could even dominate the ancient path of the starry sky. Chapter 3053. Back then, Yi Gucheng had already comprehended the moon-gazing, wordless steel. He had not fully comprehended it, but he had already displayed such powerful strength. In the end, he died because of an accident. Otherwise, he would definitely be a supreme sage, or even a great emperor. Therefore, because of Yi Gucheng's legend, the moon-gazing, wordless steel became even more mysterious. After all, other than Yi Gucheng, no one had been able to comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless steel for tens of thousands of years. The peak masters of the 3 peaks also had solemn expressions, because they knew how special the moon-gazing, wordless steel was. The 3 peaks also had mysterious inscriptions, but that was the Holy Grail, which was left behind by a sage. The moon-gazing, wordless steel was different. Its origin was more spiritual, far surpassing the holy steel. That was why it was so difficult to cultivate, and once cultivated, its power was extremely terrifying. Seeing that the peak masters of the other 3 peaks, elders and prodigies, had all arrived, the peak master of the moon-gazing peak was not surprised. He took a deep breath, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. Endless laws wrapped around him. In the next moment, he struck out one ancient Tao pattern after another, which appeared in the sky, then floated towards the moon-gazing peak. Buzz, buzz, buzz! As the Tao patterns floated into the moon-gazing peak one after another, the entire peak also changed. The sky was shrouded in light, illuminating the entire world. Not only that, but it also trembled violently. A crack appeared in the middle of the moon-gazing peak, which quickly spread to both sides. Seeing this scene, the surrounding prodigies widened their eyes. The moon-gazing peak was split open. Lin Xian was also shocked. This scene was too shocking. It was as if an invisible divine sword had split the moon-gazing peak from the middle. Shen Fei was even more shocked. He discovered that there was another world inside the split moon-gazing peak. Inside, ancient trees and mountains towered into the clouds. The vines were as thick as pythons. They were like huge dragons, carrying with them boundless strength. A powerful vitality was emitted from inside. The inside of the moon-gazing peak was actually like this. Lin Xian and the others were extremely shocked. It was too mysterious. That should be the moon-gazing, wordless steel. They discovered that there was a stone stele inside. It was abnormally large. It stood tall on the earth. The stone monument was surrounded by vines and ancient trees, but the surface of the stone monument was as smooth as a mirror. There was nothing on it. The entire stone tablet was completely black. It was 100 feet tall, and its surface was as smooth as a mirror without any marks. Was this the moon-gazer wordless steel? Sensing the prehistoric aura coming from the front, everyone began to tremble. Even the peak masters of the 4 great peaks wore stern expressions. Huangfu Baitian's eyes lit up. He Mo was so excited that he started trembling. Yi Fei, Wang Qi, Xueling, and the others' eyes turned red. Zhong Lingxiu's eyes flickered with a mysterious light as she stared at the wordless mountain gazing steel in front of her. Not only those from the Full Moon Peak, but the geniuses from the Exquisite Peak, the Divine Strategy Peak, and the Misty Peak also had fiery gazes. Even the North Yao's eyes shone with a shocking light. Previously, as the number 1 person in the outstanding scholar mansion, he had also wanted to comprehend the moon-gazer, wordless steel. However, he had failed in the end. This made him realize that he was not fated to comprehend the moon-gazer, wordless steel. Hence, he could only try to comprehend the misty sacred steel of the Misty Peak. Lin Xian was equally shocked. Not only that, but there was also a strange movement in his body. This strange movement gave Lin Xian a fright. There were no marks on the moon-gazer, wordless steel. Hence, Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret god eyes to see if there were any secrets hidden within. Golden runes flickered. Lin Xian looked in front of him. However, he realized that the moon-gazer wordless steel was too mysterious. It was as if there was a strand of heavenly secret blocking everything. It was indeed mysterious. Was this the moon-gazer wordless steel? Even the heavenly secret god eyes could not see through it. Lin Xian was shocked. However, at this moment, the mysterious small sword in his body vibrated. Not only that, but the great dragon sword soul was also operating rapidly, trying to soar into the sky. What was going on? Lin Xian was shocked as he suppressed the great dragon sword soul. It seemed like the great dragon sword soul was targeting the moon-gazer, wordless steel in front of him. How could this be? And this mysterious small sword had caused the moon-gazer, wordless steel, to vibrate again. It even produced a sense of hostility. What was going on? Lin Xian had no idea. He guessed that it might be because Yi Guqing had once comprehended the moon-gazer, wordless steel. Hence, when the great dragon sword soul came before the moon-gazer, wordless steel again, there would be a special change. However, he had no idea if this was the reason. Apart from Lin Xian himself, no one else knew about the change in Lin Xian's body. Even the peak leaders of the 4 peaks had no idea. The Full Moon Peak Master turned to Lin Xian and the other 2 and said in a deep voice, "The 3 of you, go ahead and comprehend it." Huangfu Baitian nodded solemnly. He Mo's eyes were red as he trembled in excitement. On the other hand, Lin Xian's heart was heavy. At this moment, the Full Moon Peak Master reminded them once again. The moon-gazer wordless steel had a mysterious origin and contained heavenly secrets. Whether they could comprehend it or not depended on their luck. Just do your best and don't force it. Lin Xian and the other 2 nodded. They also understood this principle. Subsequently, the Peak Master did not say anything else. The entire place fell silent. All eyes fell on Lin Xian, Huangfu Baitian, and Heimo Huangfu Baitian soared into the sky, while Heimo roared and turned into a black lightning bolt, rushing forward. Both of them were extremely fast and arrived in front of the moon-gazer, wordless steel, in an instant. Lin Xian also took a deep breath and strode forward. Soon he arrived as well. He realized that the great dragon sword soul in his body was trembling even more violently. Fortunately, he had merged with the great dragon sword soul and could suppress it. Lin Xian stood in front of the moon-gazer, wordless steel. He did not sit down to comprehend it immediately. Instead, he reached out and gently touched the black surface of the steel. The surface was shiny and smooth. However, when he touched the black steel, the great dragon's sword soul in his body roared. The mysterious little sword shuddered slightly. A peerless aura was released. However, it soon disappeared. The great dragon sword soul's roar sounded in Lin Xian's body, but it was blocked by Lin Xian and did not come out. However, he could not block the aura released by the mysterious small sword. Buzz! He turned his head slightly and looked behind him. Previously, those people behind him did not seem to notice anything unusual, as if they did not notice this peerless killing intent. Only the peak masters of the 4 peaks raised their brows. What's going on? Why do I feel a mysterious aura flowing out? When they checked again, they found that the mysterious aura had disappeared without a trace. No one noticed it. Lin Xian was stunned. At the same time, he was even more puzzled. Why? Why would the great dragon sword soul and the mysterious small sword in his body change like this after encountering the moon gazer, wordless steel? Could it be that they had crossed paths before? Lin Xian took a deep breath and decided to take a risk and try using the great dragon's sword soul. After all, the great dragon's sword soul had already tried to rush out to attack him before he had even comprehended the great dragon's sword soul. Now that he had used the great dragon's sword soul, it was very likely that it would cause unexpected consequences. However, he had no other choice. He could only give it a try. Lin Xian used the great dragon sword soul to destroy the surrounding chaotic nothingness. The great dragon sword spirit was an offensive saint technique that could destroy everything. As expected, the surrounding chaotic void was slashed apart. Lin Xian felt that his vision around him had become clearer. He decided on a direction and moved forward. His body and sword merged into a sword light and rushed forward. He would destroy all the chaotic nothingness along the way. He didn't believe that there was no end to this world. In the blink of an eye, 10 days passed. Everyone was still waiting, silently. Suddenly, the peak master of the Moongazer Peak's eyes lit up and became sharp. The peak masters of the other 3 peaks also turned their heads and stared down. Under the Moongazer wordless steel, Black Demon's body trembled slightly. His forehead was covered in cold sweat, and his tightly shut eyes were tightly knitted. It was as if he had encountered something painful. Oh no, Black Demon was going to fail. The North Monster was no stranger to this situation. He knew that Black Demon's will was about to collapse. He couldn't withstand the chaotic nothingness at all. That was because there was only one person in the world. There was no hope. There was nothing. He would definitely despair. It was already very difficult for Black Demon to hold on for 10 days. Moreover, the North Monster had comprehended it once before. He knew that the flow of time inside was different from outside. 10 days outside might be 100 or 200 years inside. No matter how strong a person was, they would collapse. As expected, Black Demon suddenly opened his eyes and roared at the sky. He spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground, twitching nonstop. Seeing this, the surrounding prodigies and elders were in an uproar. The first elder sighed, his face full of disappointment. Did he fail? The peak master of the Moongazer Peak also shook his head slightly. With a flip of his hand, the wind and clouds in front of him tumbled and wrapped around Black Demon, then sent him out. Treat his injuries, the Moongazer Peak's peak master said in a low voice. The surrounding elders went forward to treat Heimo's injuries. As for the others, they shifted their gazes away from Heimo and looked to the front. Now, only Huangfu Beitian and Lin Xian were left. They wondered if the 2 of them could comprehend it. Another 5 days passed. Huangfu Beitian's body also trembled slightly. Large beads of sweat flowed down her forehead. Seeing this, the first elder and the others became nervous again. The elders and prodigies of the other peaks were also paying close attention. Could it be that Huangfu Beitian couldn't hold on anymore? It seemed like that was the case. Huangfu Baiqian's talent and strength both surpassed Black Demon's, but he only lasted 5 days longer than Black Demon. As expected, around an hour later, Huangfu Baiqian's eyes sprang open as he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was completely pale. It was obvious that he was on the verge of losing his mind. The elders and the prodigies of the Moongazer Peak let out sighs. Failed. Even Huangfu Beitian had failed. Could it be that there was really no one left with money? In their hearts, Huangfu Beitian was a godlike existence. No one dared to challenge him due to his outstanding strength. Even against Black Demon, Huangfu Beitian could easily defeat him. Such a person was definitely a law-defying genius. But now Huangfu Beitian had failed too. It was a great blow to the Moongazer Peak. The Peak Master of the Moongazer Peak shook his head and waved his hand. The clouds encapsulated Huangfu Beitian and sent him out too. Huangfu Beitian wore a wry smile as he glanced at Black Demon, who was sent out in advance. Black Demon had failed too? He had failed too. Wait, where's Lin Xian? He scanned his surroundings. Only he and Black Demon were resting. Lin Xian was nowhere to be seen. Could it be that the kid had not failed yet? Upon having this thought, Huangfu Baiqian's eyes widened. He glanced at Black Demon. Black Demon wore an unpleasant expression as he realized that Lin Xian had not failed yet. He had failed, and so had Huangfu Beitian, but Lin Xian was still holding on. Black Demon could not believe it. Chapter 3055. At the same time, his figure began to tremble slightly. Could it be that his talent had surpassed Huangfu Baiqian's? This caused him to feel extremely jealous. Huangfu Beitian was astounded too. In his opinion, Lin Xian was already defeated, but that was not the case. This guy was still holding on. Huangfu Baiqian's figure began to tremble too. Meanwhile, everyone's gaze was focused on the red-shirt young man ahead. The first elder's eyes were filled with excitement and nervousness. He had no idea what this kid was thinking. Would he succeed? The peak leader of the Full Moon Peak had a hint of anticipation too. The peak leaders of the other peaks discussed in whispers as their eyes flickered. This kid was holding on even longer than Huangfu Beitian. He must be the successor of the Dragon King, as expected of the rumors. That's right, Yi Guqing was also the successor of the Dragon King. Perhaps this kid could really create a miracle. Not necessarily, as Yi Guqing was only able to comprehend it by coincidence. Even though this kid was the successor of the Dragon King, it would still be extremely difficult for him to comprehend it. The peak leaders discussed in whispers. Meanwhile, the geniuses and elders of the 4 peaks were dumbfounded too. Lin Xian had no idea what was happening outside. He was still one with the sword, maintaining the same posture as he pierced through the void. Anyone else would have lost their mind by now. However, as a swordsman, Lin Xian had a firm will. On top of that, it had been extremely difficult for him to reach this point. Thus, even at that moment, when faced with the primal chaos void, a scene that could cause one to despair and collapse, he was still able to forcibly endure it. After flying for an unknown period of time, perhaps hundreds or even thousands of years, Lin Xian's brows suddenly twitched as he realized that there was finally a change in front of him. That's great. Lin Xian was overjoyed as he increased his speed. Buzz! He arrived at the front. Although his surroundings were still filled with chaos, there was something in front of him. Something black. A black lotus emitted an eerie glow. What was that? Lin Xian's eyes widened as he saw the black lotus, causing his expression to turn unpleasant. He couldn't be more familiar with this thing. Previously, there was a black lotus in his body that sealed his spirit meridians, preventing him from cultivating. At that time, if not for the sword-shaped pendant, Lin Xian might not have been able to cultivate for the rest of his life. Therefore, how could he possibly forget about this black lotus? However, he hadn't expected to encounter the black lotus that sealed his spirit meridians here. What's going on? Why was it like this? Lin Xian was extremely shocked. To be honest, he never knew why there was a black lotus in his body. Why did the lotus seal his spirit vein? No one had ever told him that. Lord Alcohol hadn't, and neither had his father, Lin Zhan. Furthermore, Lin Xian had gradually forgotten about this matter. After all, ever since he had obtained the mysterious little sword, the black lotus had been destroyed. From then on, such a thing never happened to her body again. Furthermore, he had never seen that kind of black lotus again. But now he actually saw it again in the plenilune wordless steel. Could it be that this black lotus flower existed in the moongazer wordless steel? Was it the moongazer wordless steel that sealed him? But why? The moongazer wordless steel was the most mysterious inscription on the moongazer peak. At that time, he was just a weak creature in the dust. Why would the moongazer wordless steel seal him? Lin Xian couldn't understand at all. This didn't make sense. Could it be because of his father? Lin Xian had always felt that his father, Lin Zhan, was very mysterious. Now he was already a super saint like Xiajiu. One had to know that super saints were extremely rare. There weren't many of them in the world. Moreover, it could be said that it was extremely difficult to cultivate, and his father was one of them. He didn't know if his father had obtained some kind of great opportunity after coming to the true spirit continent, or if his father had hidden his strength when he was in the Sword Pool Mansion. All of this was a mystery. Could it be an illusion? Is it a test for me? Suddenly, Lin Xian had such a thought. After all, the moongazer wordless steel was incomparably mysterious. Perhaps it had created an illusion to make Lin Xian face the thing that he feared the most in his heart. To Lin Xian, the thing that frightened him the most was being sealed again. However, just as Lin Xian thought that this was an illusion, the black lotus flower in front of him suddenly moved. Countless lotuses surged toward him, densely packed and shrouding him. Lin Xian could feel a sealing power surging toward him, as if it was trying to seal him once again. Not good. Lin Xian was shocked, and a biting cold light burst out from his eyes. Get lost. At this moment, he used the great dragon sword soul again. A dragon image rushed out, turning into a divine sword and sweeping in all directions. These black lotuses were simply too bizarre. The great dragon sword soul's powerful attack had only managed to push them back. It hadn't managed to cut them into pieces. What was this thing? Lin Xian now suspected that all of this was a dream. More and more black lotus flowers kept spurting out. But fortunately, Lin Xian had the great dragon sword soul and could still resist. However, it was only for self-defense. However, at this critical moment, the mysterious small sword in Lin Xian's body trembled slightly. A sword light illuminated the surroundings. Buzz! Many black lotus flowers were completely destroyed, and a bloody path was opened between heaven and earth. Buzz, buzz, buzz! The surrounding black lotus flowers quickly retreated and returned to their original places. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. What was this lotus flower? Even the great dragon's sword soul couldn't do anything to it? Fortunately, he still had the mysterious small sword in his body. Otherwise, this time he would really be in danger. Lin Xian withdrew his thoughts and looked ahead carefully. The next moment, he was extremely shocked. He finally saw the black lotus flower and the surrounding scene clearly. In front of him, there was also a black stone tablet. There were no words on it, and it was as smooth as a mirror. This scene was like the moongazer wordless steel in the outside world. It was just that its appearance and shape were much smaller. However, the aura on it was even more terrifying. However, this moongazer wordless steel was covered with black lotus flowers. Could it be that this moon-gazer wordless steel was sealed by the lotus flowers? Such a thought suddenly popped up in Lin Xian's mind. Moreover, the more he thought about it, the more he felt that it was possible. Damn it, what was going on? This lotus flower didn't belong to the moon-gazer wordless steel. It grew here. It was specially used to seal the moon-gazer wordless steel. But why did it seal the moon-gazer wordless steel? Moreover, this black lotus had sealed him before. Was there any connection or similarity between it and the moon-gazer wordless steel? Lin Xian didn't know. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In front of him, the moon-gazer wordless steel emitted a primitive aura and a wave of fluctuations. You are here. Although it wasn't a sound and was just a wave, Lin Xian could clearly feel the meaning behind it. You are conscious. Lin Xian was extremely shocked. He didn't expect that the moon-gazer wordless steel was actually a living thing. Chapter 3056. Suddenly he thought of something. Perhaps it was some kind of weapon spirit, because some powerful weapons would have spiritual intelligence. For example, an extreme weapon contained a terrifying weapon spirit that was usually asleep, but once it woke up, the power of an extreme weapon would be fully unleashed. In addition to extreme weapons, sacred weapons also had weapon spirits, but it had to be an extremely terrifying sacred weapon. In other words, the more terrifying the weapon was, the more likely it was to have a weapon spirit. He didn't expect the plenilune wordless steel to have a weapon spirit, and it seemed that the weapon spirit had been sealed by the Black Lotus for a long time. What was going on? What was this Black Lotus? Why was it sealed? What else did it seal? In an instant, Lin Xian asked countless questions because he was too puzzled. However, the plenilune wordless steel didn't answer. Instead, it emitted a weak fluctuation again. You, leave quickly. You are not his opponent. Who is he? Is it the Black Lotus? Or is there someone behind the Black Lotus? Lin Xian asked again. Don't you remember? That's right, you are not him. The steel shadow in front of him fluctuated again. Lin Xian was even more puzzled. Do I remember in the past? And who is that him? Successor of the great dragon, leave. I can't let you comprehend it now. The fluctuation in front of him came. Senior, what do I have to do to save you? Lin Xian asked quickly. He had a feeling that this Black Lotus was not a good thing. To be precise, the other party was not a good thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't have sealed him before. It's useless. You are too weak now. You will know everything when you become stronger. Now that you know, it will only add to your troubles. The steel spirit didn't answer, but urged Lin Xian to leave. Lin Xian gritted his teeth. He wanted to mobilize the mysterious small sword in his body to rush out and destroy the lotus, but he found that he couldn't do it at all. There was no other way. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with determination. In the next moment, he rushed forward as if he wanted to crash into those Black Lotus. Buzz! This scene naturally caused the Black Lotus to counterattack. On the moon-gazing, wordless steel, many lotus flowers rushed out, wanting to entangle Lin Xian. The mysterious little sword in Lin Xian's body trembled once again. A sword light rushed out and destroyed many of the lotuses nearby. Just like that, Lin Xian used his own body as a guide to mobilize the mysterious little sword in his body and finally cut off a small half of the lotus flower. But soon, his little face turned cold, because he realized that it was useless. What was cut off now was just a drop in the ocean. The spirit of the wordless mountain gazing steel was still shrouded by the Black Lotus. You were actually able to kill it. The boulder spirit of the wordless mountain gazing boulder shuddered. It did not expect Lin Xian to have such an ability. Senior, don't worry. Give me some time and I'll be able to completely exterminate these lotuses. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. It's useless. Although you have a great treasure, your strength is too weak. You can't destroy it now, let alone save me. Unexpectedly, there was still hope. Senior, what exactly is this thing? Lin Xian continued to ask. The boulder spirit did not answer. Instead, it muttered to itself. Last time, I placed my hopes on someone, thinking that he could save me from my misery. But now that you're here, I know that he failed. Last time, Lin Xian's heart thumped wildly. Could it be that it was talking about Yi Guqing? Because only Yi Guqing had comprehended the wordless mountain gazing boulder. In the past tens of thousands of years, no one else had been able to comprehend it. It must be talking about Yi Guqing. Indeed, the boulder spirit sent a wave. His name was indeed Yi Guqing, and he was also the successor of the great dragon. It was indeed so. Lin Xian sighed. Senior Yi Guqing had already fallen tens of thousands of years ago. He was besieged by several powerful sages on the ancient path of stars. Countless monstrous geniuses attacked, and in the end, Senior Yi Guqing fell in that battle. He was the one who attacked. They were the ones who attacked. They didn't want me to break out. The boulder spirit continued to send out waves. This time, it seemed to be a little angry. However, it had been sealed for countless years, so its waves were extremely weak. Leave, and don't have anything to do with me. Otherwise, you'll end up like Yi Guqing sooner or later. They won't let you off. Lin Xian didn't know who the boulder spirit was referring to. However, Lin Xian wouldn't give up. He had to comprehend the wordless mountain gazing boulder. He quickly said, Senior, even if I leave now, I'm afraid that the people you're talking about won't let me off in the future. Because before this, I already had this mysterious black lotus in my body that sealed my spirit meridians. If I didn't obtain a treasure, I'm afraid that I would still be a cripple and unable to cultivate at all. What? You actually have such a thing in your body too. This time, it was the boulder spirit's turn to be shocked. It really didn't expect that Lin Xian would be in the same situation as it. However, he broke free in the end. Could it be that it was fate? The boulder spirit sent out a violent wave. I was originally in despair, but I didn't expect you to appear. All right, I'll bet again. I bet that you can succeed. Lin Xian knew that the boulder spirit didn't mean that he would succeed in comprehending the wordless mountain-gazing boulder, but that he would fight his way to the top on the ancient path of stars. He would avoid ending up like Yi Guqing. Lin Xian clenched his fists. Senior, don't worry, I won't die. Since you're also their target, they won't let you off even if I don't impart something to you. Since that's the case, I naturally have to impart something to you. The boulder spirit's wave also became excited. Obviously, it saw hope. However, upon hearing this wave, the surrounding black lotus suddenly bloomed with a demonic light. Demonic aura filled the sky and covered the entire chaotic void. It completely engulfed Lin Xian and the boulder spirit. In the outside world, a month had passed and everyone was still waiting patiently. The first elder and the peak master of the full moon peak had a trace of excitement in their eyes. After such a long time, Lin Xian still hadn't failed. Could it be that he really could succeed? The other elders of the heavenly sect. The crowd burst into an uproar. Huangfu Beitian let out a sigh. As a matter of fact, he had never placed anyone in his eyes at the full moon peak. However, Lin Xian had given him a great shock. He did not expect him to be able to persist for so long. He had completely surpassed him. Thus he had no choice but to admit defeat. On the other side, the black demon clenched his teeth and trembled. His eyes were bloodshot, and he was about to go crazy from jealousy. Damn it, how could this kid persist for so long? He should have failed long ago. That's right, he failed after 10 days, and Huangfu Beitian failed after 15 days, but now a month had passed and he was still able to persist. Why was that? Why? He was not convinced, and even hoped that Lin Xian would fail. Chapter 3057. As expected of the successor of the great dragon. He can hold on for so long. The other Three peak leaders discussed in low voices. Qing Wu curled her lips in dissatisfaction. That guy is really holding on. The North Beast's eyes shone with a cold light. Holding on doesn't mean that he can successfully comprehend it. However, it seems that the kid has a high chance of succeeding. Yu Linglong and Han Fei were also watching silently. If Lin Xian succeeded in comprehending it, then he would be a great enemy to them. Therefore, they had to see his success with their own eyes. Just like that, another day passed. Suddenly, Lin Xian's body trembled slightly. Large beads of sweat dripped from his forehead, and his face became abnormally pale. There was no trace of blood. "Oh no, that kid is in danger," many people exclaimed. The first elder's heart instantly rose to his throat. The Full Moon Peak's peak leader took a deep breath. There were endless laws in his eyes. The great Tao surged under his feet. Obviously, he felt extremely indignant. Big brother Lin Xian. Shen Jingqiu was extremely nervous. The dark rainbow divine dragon also screamed. "Impossible, that kid can't fail. This doesn't make sense. Is the result going to be out?" In the distance, the North Beast, Yu Linglong, Han Fei, and the others were watching nervously. Huangfu Beitian sighed when he saw this scene. He was very familiar with this scene. The last time he failed, it was the same situation that happened. Is Lin Xian going to fail too? Ha 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 ha, I knew that kid won't succeed. The black demon's lips curled into a cold smile. However, he was ecstatic in his heart. If the peak leader wasn't still here, he would have thrown his head back and laughed. Great, is he finally going to fail too? Humph, if I can't get it, no one else can. Everyone watched nervously. Lin Xian's body trembled. His face was pale, and he could lose at any time. However, he did not open his eyes or vomit blood. Just like that, his body trembled, and he persisted for another 3 days. During these 3 days, the elders of the Full Moon Peak spent their days on tenterhooks. The others were also extremely nervous. The black demon was so angry that he vomited blood. Damn it, how did this happen? How could this brat still persist? The way he saw it, the other party was trembling and his face was pale. He was already on the verge of collapse and would be defeated very soon. However, the other party had persisted for 3 days. He hadn't come out yet. This scene was truly unbelievable to him. This guy's willpower was really formidable. Huangfu Beitian exclaimed. The North Beast, Yu Linglong, and Han Fei were also shocked. What they did not know was that Lin was currently experiencing a great battle, a battle of life and death. Amidst the chaotic nothingness, the black lotus blossomed with a demonic light that covered the sky and the earth. It completely enveloped Lin Xian and the tablet spirit. The monument spirit resisted with all its might. It had been sealed all these years, but it was still able to survive. At this moment, Black Lotus was exerting its power, and he could not exert much power. At the same time, it was very worried that Lin Xian was sealed here. If that was really the case, then his last hope would be gone. Fortunately, although Lin Xian was surrounded by layers of black lotuses, he was not sealed. There was an aura in the other party's body that blocked the black lotus. It could even destroy these black lotuses. The monument spirit knew that there was no time to lose. It had to impart its inheritance to the other party. Finally, it gathered all its power and shot out a ray of black light that entered Lin Xian's glabella. What I can give you is not a peerless cultivation technique or a powerful bloodline, but an opportunity. An opportunity to comprehend heaven and earth. It is like a seed that has taken root and sprouted in your body. Now you can leave. Thank you, Senior. I will definitely comprehend it as soon as possible and become a sage. When that time comes, I will come back and destroy these black lotuses. No, come back after becoming a Dharch. At least a boundary Dharch. Otherwise, don't come here again. They will definitely be vigilant after letting you escape this time. In the future, you must be more careful on the ancient starry sky path. A boundary Dharch? I understand. Lin Xian nodded solemnly. Then he felt a huge force pushing him out. Outside, everyone was waiting anxiously. The Full Moon Peak's Peak Master, the Grand Elder, and many other prodigies were all looking at Lin Xian. Lin Xian had been trembling for 3 days. Would he succeed, or would he fail? It was the last moment. Buzz! Suddenly, Lin Xian's body stopped trembling. There was even a layer of hazy black light emitting from his body with a primordial aura that shocked everyone. Could it be? Everyone opened their mouths, wide in disbelief. Many people held their breaths. Could it be that this kid succeeded? Impossible. Damn it, he can't succeed. The black demon roared in his heart. The Grand Elder, the Full Moon Peak's Peak Master, and the others were extremely excited. It seemed that this kid was about to wake up. Did he succeed? It was unlikely. After all, no one had been able to comprehend it for tens of thousands of years. Even if he was the successor of the Great Dragon, there was probably only a 10% chance. It was just that he would not be injured like Huangfu Beitian and the Black Demon. It seemed like that was indeed the case. The Full Moon Peak was really unlucky this time. No one could comprehend the full moon wordless steel. Hee. It was impossible for them to make a comeback. They would always be at the bottom of the 4 peaks. The people from the other 3 peaks sneered. Although they had failed, they were incomparably happy. Hearing this, the elders, prodigies, and powerhouses of the Full Moon Peak were disappointed. Even Lin Xian was going to fail. Then, was there really no hope for them? After all, Lin Xian was the successor of the Great Dragon of this generation. More importantly, as soon as he came to the Full Moon Lake, he caused the 9 heavy waves. Exactly the same as Yi Gucheng back then. Furthermore, he had only been in the Moon Palace for 2 hours, and he had already condensed the Moon Soul. This had already surpassed Yi Gucheng. Even so, they could not comprehend the full moon wordless steel. They could not believe it. The Full Moon Peak's Peak Master had a solemn expression. The other 3 Peak Masters also sighed. They had also guessed why the full moon wordless steel was so difficult to comprehend. Although it was difficult in the past, there were also peerless geniuses who could comprehend it. However, in the past tens of thousands of years, no one could comprehend it. At that time, they had used all their means, and even the old mansion master had come. However, in the end, they could not completely discover the secret of the full moon wordless steel. However, the old mansion master said that there seemed to be some problems with the full moon wordless steel. But what exactly was the problem? Until now, these people still did not know. If Lin Xian was really defeated, it meant that the problem with the full moon wordless steel was getting worse and worse. From now on, no one would be able to comprehend it, and the full moon wordless steel would become a useless steel and no longer have any use. Just as everyone was in despair, mysterious runes suddenly surged out of Lin Xian's body. They were abnormally simple. Chapter 3058. However, it only existed for a moment before disappearing. But in the next moment, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The aura on his body erupted and shot into the sky. In his left eye, a golden moon appeared. It was extremely terrifying, and an incomparably terrifying moon soul power emerged. As soon as this power appeared, everyone in the surroundings trembled. What a pure moon soul power! Damn it! How could this kid's moon soul be so powerful? He had only been here for a few months. Everyone went crazy, and those elders were also discussing. The first elder was stunned, and in the next moment he became excited. The Full Moon Peak's Peak Master's eyes burst out with a piercing cold light. Around him, endless laws danced, transforming into the image of dragons and phoenixes. Could it be that the other party succeeded? Such a thought appeared in their minds. Because previously, when Huangfu Beitian and Heimo failed, their faces were pale and they vomited blood. But now, although Lin Xian opened his eyes, he was not injured at all. Not only that, but a mysterious aura and terrifying runes appeared on his body, as well as this powerful moon soul. This was definitely the scene of success. According to the records of the House of Prodigy, when Yi Gu Chung succeeded, it seemed to be the same scene. Could it be that this kid really succeeded? What? How is this possible? Exclamations and screams sounded one after another. This kid was going to defy the heavens. He was going to poke a hole in the sky. How many tens of thousands of years had he finally comprehended something that no one had comprehended? Was he still human? This kid could no longer be described with words. Everyone was stunned. At this moment, the first elder was excited, and the peak master laughed loudly. Yi Fei, Xueling, Wang Ji, and the others exclaimed. Huang Fu Beitian was also stunned. Did he succeed? He did not expect Lin Xian to succeed. Hei Mo, who was at the side, directly spat out a mouthful of old blood and fainted. He fainted from anger because he had never expected that the other party would succeed. Did this guy really succeed? After tens of thousands of years, someone had comprehended the full moon wordless steel. The other 3 peak masters were also extremely shocked. Although they were already sages, this matter still shocked them. Their hearts that had been calm for thousands of years were also surging. Haha, that's great. There's finally hope for my full moon peak. The peak master of Full Moon Peak also laughed heartily. The first elder and the other elders were trembling with excitement. Yi Fei, Xueling, Luya, and the others gathered around. Did you really comprehend the Moongazer wordless steel? What kind of miraculous cultivation technique was that? Can you describe it? Can you use it now? These people were chattering. The black demon had woken up and was also watching anxiously. He gritted his teeth and said, "Damned kid, I don't believe that you've really comprehended it." Lin Xian glanced at the black demon and said indifferently, "Of course I comprehended it. You don't say it's really magical. As for using it, not now, this place is too small. When I have the chance, I will show it to you personally." Hearing Huang Xiaolong's words, Xueling, Yi Fei, and the rest were stunned. The corner of Huang Fu Baitian's mouth twitched as he sighed. Black Demon was so angry that he spat out another mouthful of blood. In the end, he felt like he was going crazy. Who would have thought that this little fellow would actually be able to comprehend it? Congratulations. The other 3 peak masters came to congratulate the Full Moon Peak Master. The Full Moon Peak Master laughed. This was an unexpected surprise. Speaking of this, his eyes shone brightly. You guys have been living too comfortably for the past few years. This time, I will show you the strength of the Full Moon Peak. Hearing this, the Ethereal Peak Master laughed. Don't be too proud. Although this little fellow has obtained the qualifications, it won't be easy for him to comprehend it completely. As for the competition between the 4 peaks, it wouldn't be long before it began. It won't be easy for them to make a comeback then. Indeed, Lin Xian wouldn't be able to comprehend it in such a short period of time. Even Yi Gu Qing didn't manage to comprehend it completely. Otherwise, he wouldn't have died. However, while the Ethereal Peak didn't care, the Divine Strategy Peak felt the pressure. Lin Xian was too much of a freak and too strong. He might really be able to make it to the top in the competition between the 4 peaks. Although he might not be able to get first place, it wasn't impossible for him to get 3rd place. This way, the Divine Strategy Peak would be at the bottom. The Divine Strategy Peak would never allow such a thing to happen. The Divine Strategy Peak Master's eyes flickered. The elders and sky prides clenched their fists. They had to go into seclusion during this period of time so that they could prepare for the upcoming battles and competitions. Hearing the words of the peak masters, the other sky prides' eyes lit up. Lin Xian raised his head and clenched his fists. The competition between the 4 peaks? That's good too. I can see how the geniuses of the other peaks are like. At the same time, His gaze pierced through the clouds and looked into the distance. At this moment, the full moon peak was slowly closing and the full moon wordless monument was gradually disappearing into the shadows of the mountain. "Don't worry, Senior. I will come back to save you one day," Lin Xian said in his heart. This was the agreement between him and the monument spirit. In the sky, the laws danced and the peak masters of the 4 peaks disappeared. The Grand Elder and the other elders also left. This was because they had to make preparations for the upcoming competition between the 4 peaks. Only the young sky prides and monsters were left in this world. Instantly, countless gazes fell on Lin Xian. There was envy and jealousy. It couldn't be helped. No one had managed to comprehend the full moon wordless monument for tens of thousands of years, but this guy had managed to do so. It really made people jealous to death. The black demon had fainted a few times from anger. Huang Fu Beitian was also extremely envious. Even the northern monster, Yu Linglong and Han Fei, had strange gazes. Had the other party's talent surpassed theirs? As peerless sky prides, they were unwilling to admit such a thing. Qing Wu was even more furious. She came in front of Lin Xian and said in a sweet voice, "You are so lucky to be able to comprehend the full moon wordless monument. Hurry up and show it to me. Let me see how powerful this legendary thing is." Hearing this, everyone's interest was piqued. That's right. The full moon wordless monument was so legendary. How powerful was it? None of them knew. The people from the other 3 peaks were the same. They also wanted to know how different the full moon wordless monument was compared to the sky monument of their peaks. The corners of Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile as he looked at the fuming little girl. He said indifferently, "This is a peerless divine ability. How can I let you see it so easily? This is my trump card. Moreover, this place is too small. Wait until the competition between the 4 peaks. At that time, you will see it in the competition arena." Hearing this, everyone exclaimed. Qing Wu was furious. "Damn it, don't be so arrogant. What are you so proud of? Even if you comprehend the full moon wordless monument, you can't beat my brother this time. Let's wait and see." Chapter 3059. Is that so? Lin Xian shifted his gaze away from Qing Wu and looked into the distance at the tall and slender man with a demonic appearance. Is that the northern beast? It was his first time meeting him. The northern beast also looked down from the sky and met Lin Xian's gaze. Boom! Boom! The whole place began to shake vigorously. Above the 9 heavens, endless energy surged and the void cracked. Everyone felt suffocated. How powerful! Their gazes collided, and such power was actually released. Even Huang Fu Beitian was shocked. Yu Linglong and Han Fei also stared at Lin Xian. "Northern beast, we finally meet." Lin Xian said with a smile, "I've heard of your reputation, but I didn't expect to meet you here." Indeed, the northern beast was as famous as Lin Xian, Yi Wudao, and the others a long time ago. He was known as one of the 5 heroes. However, he was too mysterious and had never appeared. Lin Xian didn't expect him to have joined the House of Prodigy. "I've also heard of your reputation. You stopped the Dark Chaos and killed many Archean paragons. You're also known as the Middle Emperor," the northern beast said loudly. Lin Xian looked at the other 2 figures in the sky. One of them was a woman, and the other was a young man. Their auras were very strong, and they seemed to be the strongest of Linglong Peak and Divine Strategy Peak. However, he frowned slightly. Why was there one person missing? He looked at the northern beast again, and asked curiously, where was Yan Nantian? Yan Nantian, the male emperor, was as famous as him. How could he not come to such a scene? Yan Nantian had already left Ethereal Peak and stepped on the ancient path of the starry sky. He had left in advance. Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. He didn't expect Yan Nantian to leave. However, it made sense. Yan Nantian had obtained the inheritance of the great emperor and must know some secrets of the ancient path of the starry sky. He would be a peerless enemy on the ancient path of the starry sky in the future. At the same time, Lin Xian wondered how Qingqing was doing. There was also Leaf Daudenier, as well as a few other top-tier geniuses. Among the human race, there were quite a number of top geniuses who did not join the House of Prodigy. Instead, they took other paths to reach the ancient road to the starry sky. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian didn't want to think about it anymore. Next, he began to prepare with all his might for the competition between the four peaks. Becoming a great emperor and reaching the peak had always been his dream. Moreover, he felt the pressure. He once again saw the mysterious Black Lotus. Back then, Yi Gucheng had also comprehended the moon-gazer, wordless steel. However, he was still killed on the starry sky ancient path. He was afraid that those mysterious enemies would continue to deal with him. Therefore, he had to improve his strength. Otherwise, let alone becoming a great emperor, it was very likely that he would be killed on the ancient path. After that, everyone left. There were only a few months left before the competition between the four peaks. These people wanted to make the final breakthrough. Obtaining a good ranking in the competition of the four great peaks would allow one to receive a reward from the House of Prodigies. The reward was even more generous than the reward given to each mountain. Everyone was tempted. Even the North Demon and the others were preparing with all their might. This time, the participants of the competition were the top 10 of each mountain. Lin Xian had obtained second place last time, so he was naturally qualified. The North Demon, Huangfu Beitian, and the other top prodigies had already begun to cultivate in seclusion. Lin Xian didn't cultivate in seclusion because he had just obtained the enlightenment seed from the moon-gazer, wordless steel. Naturally, he wanted to comprehend heaven and earth. Lin Xian had long been able to use the power of heaven and earth. With a raise of his hand, he could mobilize endless spirit qi and transform it into all kinds of divine abilities. This kind of power seemed very powerful, but Lin Xian now knew that this was only the power on the surface. He hadn't comprehended the most fundamental power at all, because he knew that the fundamental power was the laws. It was Tao. Once comprehended, one would surpass the king level and become a saint. As for the laws, there were many. The laws of wind, the laws of clouds, the laws of water, the laws of fire, and all sorts of other powers contained laws. The more laws one comprehended, the stronger one's strength would be. Of course, with the current state of Lin Xian and the others, they definitely wouldn't be able to comprehend a single law. Not to mention one, they wouldn't be able to comprehend a single one. That was exclusive to saints. Why were the runes carved by saints more powerful than the runes they obtained? Because the runes carved by saints all contain the comprehension of heaven and earth. That was Tao, something that was naturally incomparably powerful. Lin Xian now had the enlightenment seed, so he knew more. Of course, he knew that even if he had the seed, it was impossible for him to instantly comprehend the laws, unless he had the legendary Tao physique. Although he was powerful, he didn't have such a physique, so he had to take his time to comprehend. First, he had to condense a few runes that belonged to him according to his comprehension of heaven and earth, and then slowly improve. Even so, he believed his speed was still a lot faster than most of the top geniuses and geniuses. After all, the seeds left behind by the moon-gazer wordless steel were very useful. Lin Xian now felt that there were many differences between heaven and earth. More importantly, because his moon spirit was condensed in his left eye, Lin Xian might as well plant the moon-gazer seed in his left eye. At this moment, he used the heavenly secret god eyes, coupled with the effect of the moon-gazer seed. Lin Xian felt that the entire world had changed. Between heaven and earth, there were even mysterious runes that appeared. This was something that he couldn't see at all before. This was Tao runes? Lin Xian exclaimed. Lin Xian had been sitting cross-legged in his courtyard, motionless like a rock. Just like that, 2 months passed. During this period, Shen Jingqiu came once and was shocked. She thought that Lin Xian had some problems with his cultivation, but after the Crimson Dragon explained, Shen Jingqiu heaved a sigh of relief and left the courtyard. She was also going into seclusion. This little girl was also very extraordinary. With her spirit body, she fought her way into the top 10 of the Linglong Valley and would also participate in the next competition. Not long after Shen Jingqiu left, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly burst with a cold light. With a wave of his arm, he drew a line on the ground. Although there was only one line that looked like a sword mark, the Crimson Dragon was shocked, because from it he felt an inexplicable aura. This kid was really comprehending heaven and earth. No, Ben Huang also had to comprehend the great magical power of the Dragon Clan. In the Crimson Dragon's memory, there was the inheritance of the Dragon Clan. Therefore, he also began to cultivate in seclusion. Just as Lin Xian and others were cultivating in seclusion, something happened in the Extraordinary Scholar's Mansion. The Extraordinary Scholar's Mansion was a place that led to the ancient starry sky path in the true spirit world. In the myriad worlds, there were many existences like Qiao Huifu, but there were differences in strength. And the closest star to the true spirit world, the Heavenly Cloud Mansion on the hero planet, came. In the true spirit world, most people didn't know about the existence of the myriad worlds, but the people in the Extraordinary Scholar's Mansion knew. Chapter 3060. Especially the hero star because it was relatively close to the true spirit world. It had been here more than once. Of course, the other party didn't come as a guest, but as a provocation. Whether it was the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion or the Heavenly Cloud Mansion, they would eventually embark on the ancient Star Road to compete for the title of Great Emperor. Therefore, between the two sides, there was naturally competition. When there was competition, there would naturally be fighting. Logically speaking, the true spirit world was called the Source Star, which was a very special star in the starry sky universe. It should be famous in all the worlds, and those worlds should be in awe. However, this wasn't the case, because the true spirit world hadn't had a great emperor for many years. Moreover, its strength and influence had gradually weakened. It was far inferior to the legendary buried Emperor Star. In the end, because too many powerhouses had left, the strength of the true spirit world had become ordinary. Therefore, even an existence like the hero star could come and challenge. Of course, under normal circumstances, the hero star couldn't beat the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. However, this time the hero star had a few new geniuses, so it couldn't wait to come and show off. For this kind of provocation, these geniuses of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were used to it. Therefore, not many people paid attention to it. However, a few days later, the results of the battle made these people's faces change drastically. What? Our House of Prodigy actually lost? Damn it, how is this possible? Although the Heavenly Cloud Mansion has always been arrogant, it is still no match for our Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. This time, how could the other party possibly win? You don't know. Nonsense. I didn't watch that kind of battle at all. How could I know? Hurry up and tell us what happened. Many people were anxious. Some of the geniuses who went to watch the battle said, "You don't know how lucky the Heavenly Cloud Mansion is this time." Several geniuses came. Moreover, what's more abominable is that they are all newcomers. They are very strong and we didn't guard against them. Therefore, we were defeated one after another. Now, the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion are arrogant there. What? How dare they be arrogant in our territory? How hateful! Let's go and meet them. Many people gritted their teeth in anger. However, after half a day, these people came back with their tails between their legs. Even more shocking news came. The Extraordinary Warrior Mansion lost again, and it was a series of crushing defeats. Apart from Qing Wu's victory and Zhong Lingxiu's victory on the Full Moon Peak, they had lost all the other battles. The people of the Heavenly Clouds mansion mocked him. Were there only women left in the extraordinary warrior mansion? Where did all those men go? Damn it! Why are these people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion so arrogant? If it weren't for the fact that the Northern Yao, Yu Linglong, and Han Fei were in seclusion, would these people have the right to be so arrogant? That's right, Huangfu Beitian, the Black Demon, and the others are also in seclusion. Even Yi Fei, Xueling, Wang Qi, and the others went into seclusion. This was because they had to prepare for the upcoming competition. If these Sky Prides were not in seclusion, any one of them would be able to defeat them. Why do I feel like they're doing this on purpose? They know that most of us are in seclusion at this time, so they're here to provoke us? Damn it! The Heavenly Clouds mansion is too despicable. Many people gritted their teeth. Fortunately, Qin Guo and Zhong Linxia were here. The two of them were enough to withstand this situation. That won't do. Didn't they say that we only have women left? We must find a few men to suppress them. Otherwise, if this news spreads to the ancient path of the stars, the disciples of the extraordinary warrior mansion won't be able to show their faces in the future. Many people gritted their teeth and contacted the Sky Prides of their respective peaks. Although the competition between the 4 peaks was very fierce, it was also an internal matter of the extraordinary warrior mansion. Although they were from different peaks, they were all geniuses of the extraordinary warrior mansion. Now that the people of the Heavenly Clouds mansion were here, they naturally had to unite against them. Oh no, they're all in seclusion. Moreover, we can't send any messages at all. Yes, the powerful ones are in seclusion, and those who aren't in seclusion can't defeat those people. What should we do? How many people haven't been found? Lin Xian hasn't been found yet. Let's go and have a look. Everyone went to the manor where Lin Xian was. They didn't have much hope because, in their opinion, Lin Xian might have been in seclusion, and they couldn't even send any messages. However, when they arrived nearby, they were all stunned. Was the person sitting cross-legged below Lin Xian? Yes, it's him. Is he in seclusion? No. Why would he be in seclusion in such a place? Is it easy to be disturbed? That was indeed the case. Although there was an array around, it was still too dangerous, so everyone was very puzzled. At this moment, the crimson dragon flew out. What do you want? His face was filled with hostility. After all, Lin Xian was cultivating now, and no one was allowed to disturb him. Seeing the crimson dragon come out, these people were shocked. However, they still recounted what had happened outside to him. Hearing this, the crimson dragon frowned. You mean people from other stellar realms came to provoke us? Damn, they're really arrogant. I really want to roast them and eat them. We're here to find Lin Xian and see if he can help us. I don't think he can do it. How about I do it for you? Ben Huang's fee is not high. I'll help you if you give me a half-step sacred artifact. What? These Sky Prides were so angry that they vomited blood. A half-step sacred artifact each? You're too greedy. This dragon is too unreliable. That's right, we better find Lin Xian. Everyone hurriedly shook their heads and looked down again. Damn, Ben Huang has already given you a discount. If anyone else asked me to do it, I'd ask for a sacred artifact. Hearing this, the faces of the surrounding Sky Prides became even darker. This is definitely a greedy dragon. Below, Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the sky, his eyes shining. His seclusion was very different. He had been using the heavenly secret, divine eyes, and the plenilune seed to observe the entire world. Therefore, when those people came, he knew immediately. When he heard the reason for these people's arrival, he frowned slightly. Originally, he didn't want to do it. After all, he was comprehending heaven and earth. However, when he heard the words Heavenly Cloud Mansion, his eyebrows twitched. Previously in the ruins, Lin Xian had a conflict with a group of people. At that time, that group of people seemed to be from Heavenly Cloud Mansion. Therefore, Lin Xian was a little tempted. Well, let me see what kind of existence Heavenly Cloud Mansion is. Lin Xian decided to do it. He stood up, waved his hand, and removed the array around him and said loudly, "Needless to say, I can do it. Boy, are you going?" The Crimson Dragon was surprised. When the people in the distance heard this, they were first stunned, then they cheered. Is Lin Xian going to do it? Chapter 3061. Oh God, he's really going to make a move. Great. With Lin Xian's help, those people from Heavenly Cloud Mansion would definitely die. These people were really overjoyed. In the past few days, they had been defeated, which made them feel very sullen. Now, they could finally turn the tables around and hold their heads high. Lead the way, Lin Xian said lightly. After hearing this, the Sky Prides in the distance were extremely excited and quickly led the way. When the Crimson Dragon saw this scene, he sighed, but then he also became excited. Looks like there's going to be some fun to watch. He also followed behind Lin Xian, and the group set off into the distance. Many people gathered on the huge and magnificent square of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. Most of these people were Sky Prides from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. At this moment, their expressions were abnormally gloomy, and many of them even had a ferocious and murderous look on their faces. In a corner of the square, there was also a group of people standing there. These people were also outstanding and had a strong aura. However, the rune marks on their clothes were obviously different from those of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. They should be from Heavenly Cloud Mansion. In the arena, two figures were fighting, and one of the Sky Prides from Full Moon Peak was from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. It was Yusong. Yusong danced with a long spear, emitting a biting cold light, and charged forward. His opponent was a young man in a white robe, holding a folding fan in his hand. The folding fan was like a dragon flying and a phoenix dancing on it. At this moment, when he saw the purple long spear coming at him, he sneered and waved the folding fan in front of him lightly. An amazing scene appeared. This time, it directly hit the purple long spear, and a beam of dazzling light burst out. It was extremely terrifying. The purple long spear was directly shaken off. Then Yusong was kicked, and his body flew out upside down. Lost again. Even Yusong lost. The faces of the people from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were extremely ugly. Damn it, I don't believe it. Who the hell is that guy? What's so magical about the folding fan in his hand? Yusong was an expert from Full Moon Peak. Although he wasn't ranked in the top 10, he was still extremely terrifying. They didn't expect him to be defeated so quickly. The faces of the people from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were extremely ugly. On the other side, the Heavenly Clouds Mansion's people burst into laughter. Haha, another one of them had been defeated. How many had he lost? Brother Xianyun is truly amazing. Of course, Brother Xianyun was a peerless genius. How could a mere extraordinary scholar manner possibly have someone who could defeat him? Let the two women come out. But unfortunately, they were no match for Brother Xianyun. The House of Prodigy was truly pitiful. They had actually fallen to the point where a woman had to stand up for herself. What origin planet? I reckon that this is only a legend. If you truly take yourself seriously, you simply are not our Hero Star's opponent. The people from the Heavenly Clouds Mansion were extremely arrogant. Hearing this, the Extraordinary Warrior Manor was so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. Many people went crazy. Damn it, let's fight. F***CK, don't be impulsive. We've already lost more than 10 rounds. If we continue to lose, we'll be completely disgraced. Indeed, he could not be impulsive. Let's wait a little longer and see if anyone else is coming. Io, what's wrong? You don't dare to come up? No way. He doesn't even have the courage to make a move. Not only are you weak in strength, but your courage is also lacking. I advise you to obediently go home and farm. Don't go to the Starry Sky Road. You'll only be cannon fodder if you go there. The Heavenly Clouds Mansion became even more arrogant. In front of them, the man called Xianyin was waving a folding fan in his hand. His face was cold and arrogant, as if he didn't put anyone in his eyes. Damn it, I'll go. Qing Wu was furious when she saw this scene. Previously, she had won 2 rounds. But after she joined the battle, the extraordinary warrior manners side lost one after another. Especially when Xianyin came up, no one could defeat him. Now, the other party was so arrogant in the territory of the extraordinary warrior manner. She really couldn't stand it anymore. The surrounding people also couldn't stand it anymore. Seeing that Qing Wu was about to come out again, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion immediately sneered. What? Are you really going to let a woman stand up for you? Are all the men in the extraordinary warrior manor dead? It seems that the extraordinary warrior manner of your generation is really trash. Those people sneered. Xian Yun looked forward. When he saw Qing Wu, his eyes suddenly lit up and the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. What a beautiful girl. You want to fight with me? Sure, but I wonder if you can make a bet with me. What do you want to fight? Qing Wu snorted coldly. Xian Yun waved his folding fan and said with a smile, If I win, how about you be my woman? As soon as these words came out, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion burst into laughter. Yes, 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 Brother Xian Yun is good. Little girl, our Brother Xian Yun is a peerless genius, the future hope of the Heavenly Clouds mansion. It's not a loss for you to be his woman. Not only is it not a loss, you're in luck. Hurry up and agree. This extraordinary scholar manor really suffered a double loss after trying to lure the bride. Damn it, what did he say? How dare he have designs on Qing Wu? The eyes of the sky prides from the extraordinary warrior manor turned red. Xianyin had defeated and humiliated them, and now he wanted to snatch their number 1 beauty. Damn it, let's fight it out. Yu Song, Situ Xiaotian, and the others gritted their teeth with a ferocious expression. The sky prides from the other peaks also had red eyes. Qing Wu's face was cold as she trembled in anger. How dare this despicable guy have designs on her? Who does he think he is? How dare he have designs on her? Sure enough, the sky prides from the ethereal peak snorted. Do you want to die? Qing Wu is the Northern Demon's sister. If you dare to talk nonsense again, the Northern Demon will kill all of you when he comes out. Hearing this, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were stunned. They had heard of the Northern Demon's name before. He was D.E. from the Extraordinary Warrior Manor. Xian Yun narrowed his eyes. Northern Demon's sister? That's even better. Be my woman, and I'll spare your brother's life in the future. Otherwise, I'll kill your brother on my way to becoming a great emperor. After saying that, a terrifying light bloomed from his body and shot up into the sky. Despicable guy. I'm going to tear your mouth apart. Qing Wu was furious. How dare this guy look down on her brother? She couldn't stand it. In the next moment, she came to the front. Her delicate face was filled with coldness. With a shout, her body shone brightly and the whole world was illuminated by her. Qing Wu was going to make her move. The people from the Extraordinary Warrior Manor held their breath. On the other hand, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were also watching nervously. Although they were talking nonsense, they didn't dare to be careless. After all, Qing Wu had easily defeated their geniuses in the previous few battles. Not only was she a peerless beauty, but she was also a powerful sky pride. Buzz! With a shout, she waved her jade-like hand, and the light in the sky turned into a giant dragon. It roared and tore forward. This move was extremely terrifying. Chapter 3062. Humph! When Xian Yun saw this scene, he snorted coldly. The aura on his body also became fierce, and his entire body erupted with an earth-shattering power. Buzz! He waved the folding fan in his hand and fiercely smashed it on the giant dragon phantom in the sky. With a loud bang, the sound shook the sky, and the entire world shook. The giant dragon phantom was sent flying, turning into countless spirit chi and dissipating in the sky. You're not bad, but you're still not my match. So, obediently become my woman. Xian Yun sneered. What? He blocked it. He actually managed to block this attack? Damn it, how can he be so strong? The people on the side of the extraordinary warrior manor felt their hearts rise again. Previously, when Qingwu attacked, she could easily defeat her opponent. But now it seemed that Qingwu had encountered a difficult opponent. This guy's fan is so strange. Qingwu also frowned. She could naturally see that the folding fan in the other party's hand was very unusual and had a mysterious power. Don't be arrogant. I didn't use my full strength just now. Qingwu snorted coldly, and the aura on her body erupted again. On the opposite side, Xian Yun's face darkened. Little girl, it seems that if I don't show you my true strength, you won't know how powerful I am. Fine, I'll let you experience it. The folding fan in his hand emitted a mysterious light. Runes revolved around it, and a violent energy erupted from it. As the fan waved, a violent wind blew between heaven and earth, as if it was an astral wind outside the realm. The geniuses in the distance all changed, and their faces turned ugly. What kind of fan is this? This storm is too strong. Invincible kings can't block it at all. Sure enough, Qingwu also suffered the impact of this violent wind. She snorted and spat out a shield, which circled around her and turned into 18 light shadows. In just an instant, the shield and the 18 light shadows were blown away, and Qingwu also suffered a strong wind blade attack. What kind of storm is this? Qingwu didn't dare to be careless at all. She maintained her king's domain and kept retreating. The king's domain fought against the storm that filled the sky, and a deafening sound rang out. Qingwu's qi and blood surged as she retreated far away. Ha ha ha, little beauty, did you see that? I only used a trace of my true strength, and you can't withstand it. So, you're not my match at all. Be obedient and become my woman. I will let you enjoy endless glory. After following me, you will be the happiest woman in the world. Xian Yun said proudly. Bah! Qingwu was so angry that her face turned black and her whole body trembled. How could there be such a shameless person? Why was he even more despicable than that Lin brat? Damned guy, don't underestimate me. I'll let you taste my ultimate move. Mysterious bloodlines appeared on her body. Clearly, he had activated his bloodline power. His palms formed a seal, and a resonant sound rang out from all directions. Light flickered below, and blood-red runes soared into the air, turning into 81 saber shadows that instantly enveloped the entire square. 81 giant beasts soared into the sky. Each of them was like a primordial beast. Although they were phantoms, they emitted an incomparably terrifying aura. The northern demons had the body of 10,000 demons. Qingwu was the North Demon's little sister. Although she did not have the 10,000 demon body, her bloodline power was still extremely terrifying. Now that he had erupted, he was truly ridiculously strong. Bloodline power? If you are your brother, then I will turn around and leave. But is it you? You are still far from it. Xian Yun sneered. The fan in his hand also erupted with terrifying fluctuations, and a ball of resplendent light shone from above. That aura made all the surrounding monstrous geniuses tremble. It was too terrifying. There was definitely something wrong with that fan. Damn it, could it be a sacred artifact? Impossible. No matter how strong he was, he could not move a sacred artifact. Then it must be a half-step sacred artifact. Moreover, it was very likely to be a half-step sacred artifact personally refined by a sage. Otherwise, it would not be so terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding 81 phantoms emitted a terrifying light, blocking the strange fan. A bloodline secret technique versus a super powerful half-step sacred artifact. The moment these two attacks erupted, the entire world was instantly annihilated. Not good. Retreat quickly." Everyone screamed in fright and retreated frantically. On the square of the extraordinary warrior's residence, formations also erupted, enveloping heaven and earth. This place was not simple. No matter how powerful these people's abilities were, they could not destroy it. Everyone retreated to the area enveloped by the formations and watched in fear. There was a sea of light in front of them, and they could not see clearly at all. They could only hear earth-shattering collisions. Would Qingwu win? They did not know. That guy's fan was too terrifying. They did not know if Qingwu's bloodline power could withstand it. Yes, Qingwu was still too young. If it was her brother, the North Demon, he would be able to defeat him easily without using his bloodline power. On the other side, the eyes of the people of the heavenly cloud mansion flickered. Many of them were worried, because the power that Qingwu displayed was indeed very powerful. However, at this time, a blue-clothed man said coldly, "Don't worry, the swan fan in Xianyun's hand is not simple. He will not be defeated, unless the top geniuses of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion take action." Hearing this, the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion laughed, because they knew that the top geniuses of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion were all in seclusion. It was impossible for them to come out now. In front of them, the fierce collisions did not last long. The phantoms of demonic beasts roared crazily, and then a dozen of them collapsed. A figure was also sent flying out. Qingwu's face was extremely pale, and there was even a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth. Not good. Qingwu was injured. The people of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion screamed crazily, while the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion laughed. It was just as they had expected. "As I said, you're no match for me." Xianyun walked out and stretched out his hand, locking on to Qingwu. Qingwu's face became extremely pale. If she was caught by him, she would lose for sure. Buzz! Her eyes were bloodshot. She formed a seal with her palms and was about to cast a powerful secret technique. Although it was difficult for her to cast it with her current strength, and it was even very dangerous, she could no longer hold back. However, as soon as she moved, a terrifying aura spread out in the sky. It instantly turned into a dazzling light and fell from the sky. With a clang, it pierced through Xianyun's big hand. The spiritual energy palm that was formed by Xianyun was instantly turned into ashes. Not only that, but the light also charged toward Xianyun. Xianyun's face changed. He waved the swan fan in his hand, creating a terrifying storm to block the light. At the same time he retreated. His face was gloomy, and his eyes were emitting a cold light. "Who is it? How dare you stop me?" On the other side, Qingwu heaved a sigh of relief. She was saved. She was surprised. Who was it? Who could force Xianyun to retreat? She had experienced how terrifying the other party was. Now, there was someone who could force Xianyun to retreat with a light. This was absolutely incredible. Could it be that her brother had come out? No. She was familiar with her brother's aura. It was not her brother. Then who was it? Yulinglong? Han Fei? Or Huangfu Beitian? She did not know. Chapter 3063. Not only her, but the people of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were also shocked. The people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion were also shocked. For a moment, countless eyes looked towards the sky. A red-robed young man was standing in the sky like an immortal. "It's him. Who is this kid?" Both sides exclaimed. The people of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion exclaimed in excitement. The people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion had a strange look on their faces. It wasn't the North Beast, Yulinglong, Han Fei, or Huangfu Beitian. Who is he? They had never seen him before. They knew the strongest person of the Four Peaks. But now, the kid in front of them looked unfamiliar. "Who are you? How dare you attack me?" Xianyun also looked at the sky. His voice was filled with killing intent. If it wasn't for the sneak attack Just now, he would have defeated Qingwu and even made her his woman. He didn't expect that someone would interrupt such a good thing. It was unforgivable. Who are you? The red-robed young man was naturally Lin Xian. He rushed here from the courtyard and saw Qingwu injured, and the other party was so strong. Therefore, he struck out a sword qi and forced the other party to retreat. How dare you talk to Brother Xian Yin like that? Behind him, the sky prides of the heavenly cloud mansion also walked up and glared at him. One of them said coldly, "Let me tell you, this is the peerless genius of the heavenly cloud mansion. When you see him, you have to call him Lord Xianyin." These people of the heavenly cloud mansion were very arrogant. Xianyin? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes after hearing that. I've never heard of him. How talented is he? Humph, kid, what do you know? Let me tell you, Brother Xianyin is less than 100 years old, and his strength has reached more than 60,000 archaic power. It's not a problem for him to defeat all of you. Isn't such a person considered a genius? That's right, your extraordinary warrior mansion can't defeat Brother Xianyin at all. It's the same no matter how many of you come. Kid, you're dead for interfering in Brother Xianyin's matter. Hearing that, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion fell silent. Indeed, Xianyin was very talented and powerful. He could indeed defeat them. Lin Xian looked at Xianyin after hearing that. So, you're quite talented, but have you ever heard of the phrase dying young? You dare to behave atrociously in the territory of the House of Prodigy? Do you believe that I will slaughter you? As soon as these words were spoken, the geniuses from the outstanding scholar manor could feel their lips twitching as their eyes widened. In the next moment, they became excited as if they had been injected with chicken blood. The people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were stunned. They couldn't believe that he had died young. The other party dared to threaten them. Xianyin's face sank, and his body trembled with rage. No one had ever dared to threaten him like this. Brat, who the hell are you? Me. I'm just a newbie. I just joined the House of Prodigy not long ago. Why don't I exchange a few moves with you? What? A newbie? The people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were even more dumbfounded. Since when were newcomers so arrogant? A mere newbie also dares to exchange blows with our brother Xianyin? He really didn't know what death was. Brat, you are too arrogant. Dying young? Do you have the qualifications? Unless you're Northern Beast, you Ling Long, and the others come out. No one can beat our brother Xianyin. These people once again became arrogant. They knew that the Northern Beast and the others couldn't come out for the time being, so they were so arrogant. On the other hand, the people from the House of Prodigy had a strange look on their faces. Lin Xian was indeed a newbie. However, Lin Xian was not an ordinary newbie. As soon as he arrived, he caused the 9 heavy waves, defeated the Heimo, and won the 2nd place of the Full Moon Peak. Not long ago, he had successfully comprehended the full moon wordless steel. This was something that the geniuses of tens of thousands of years couldn't do. However, Lin Xian did it one by one. How could such a person be an ordinary newbie? Damn, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were still so arrogant. Thinking of this, the people from the House of Prodigy became excited. This Lin Xian was too evil. Yes, he was so strong, but he didn't say anything about it. Xianyin sounded like a genius, but compared to Lin Xian, he was far from it. Far from it. There was no comparison at all. Lin Xian's talent was simply heaven-defying. Did you think that anyone could comprehend the full moon wordless steel? For tens of thousands of years, how many geniuses had failed? This kid was definitely a monster. Ha 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 ha. Why do I feel that the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion are going to be unlucky? That's for sure. Offending Lin Xian, they would definitely end up in a miserable state. Especially that Xianyin. Just wait. He will definitely regret it. Haha. I'm really looking forward to Lin Xian's fight. I wonder how much his strength has improved in the past few months. This guy is really insidious. Qingwu also curled her lips. However, he had just saved her, so she didn't want to argue with him. On the opposite side, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion sneered and continued to clamor. Newbie, get lost. Your geniuses can't even beat him. And you want to fight with our brother Xianyan? Xianyan's face also darkened. Ignorant ant, get lost. Someone like you is not worthy of my fight. Is that so? Lin Xian descended from the sky and said slowly, how about this? Let's make a bet. What do you want to bet? Xian Yun frowned and asked. He wasn't very interested. Lin Xian smiled and said, let's fight. If you win, this woman will become your woman. While speaking, Lin Xian pointed at Qing Wu. Qing Wu's eyes widened and her body trembled with anger. This guy dared to use her as a wager? He's really too hateful. Originally, she had a good impression of Lin Xian because he saved her, but now it was all gone. She bared her fangs and brandished her claws, wanting to pounce over and bite this guy to death. The people from the extraordinary warrior mansion were also stunned. Is Lin Xian going to make such a big bet? Won't it be a little dangerous? It seems that Lin Xian is very confident. Don't worry, we just need to watch the show. However, how come Qing Wu's complexion doesn't look very good? The people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were even more stunned. Xian Yan's mouth raised into a smile. Are you serious? He looked at Lin Xian and at the same time stared at Qing Wu. Qing Wu's eyes were cold and she was about to explode, but she was stopped by Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, of course, my extraordinary warrior mansion has always been a man of his words. All right, I'll compete with you. Killing an ant is very simple. Xian Yun revealed a sinister smile. In his opinion, it was just a matter of raising his hand to kill the other party. At the same time, he didn't think that the light just now was shot out by the other party. Maybe it was a hidden elder of the extraordinary warrior mansion. Damn it. This group of old guys really don't follow the rules. They agreed so quickly. Lin Xian was surprised. Why don't you listen to what will happen if you lose? There's no need to listen. Just name your conditions. Because I won't sell it. Xian Yun waved his hand confidently. Chapter 3064. Great. Lin Xian smiled. Before he could speak, Qing Wu, who was next to him, stood out and said angrily, if you lose, kneel down and kowtow to me 3 times. At the same time, apologize to everyone in the House of Outstanding Scholars. This girl. Lin Xian shook his head. He hadn't said the conditions yet, but the other party had already said it. But it was good, the condition sounded good. Kowtow and apologize. For a genius, this was worse than killing him. However, the people of the House of Outstanding Scholars were extremely excited, because the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion were too arrogant. Not only did they come to humiliate them, saying that there were no men in the House of Outstanding Scholars, they even wanted to take Qing Wu as their concubine. Every single one of these things made them gnash their teeth in anger. Now that Qing Wu proposed such a condition, they were naturally happy. Yes, they wanted the other party to kowtow and apologize. Hearing this bet, the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion frowned. It would be fine if they won, but what if they lost? What were they thinking? How could Brother Xian Yun lose? The other party was just a newcomer, not a peerless expert like the North Demon or Yulinglong. Indeed, if the North Demon made such a bet, Xian Yun would have left immediately. But how could a newcomer who had just entered the House of Outstanding Scholars have any strength? He probably hadn't even seen a big scene. Did he think that he was still a genius outside? Did he think that he could be arrogant in front of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion? The difference was too big. Therefore, Xian Yun agreed without hesitation. The people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion didn't stop him. In their opinion, this was a battle without any suspense. They estimated that Xian Yun could defeat the other party in one move. They didn't know why the people of the House of Outstanding Scholars agreed to it. Why did they let this kid stand out? Could it be that these people of the House of Outstanding Scholars had lost their minds because of too many failures? Who cares? Anyway, Qing Wu will be Brother Xian Yun's woman in the future. Kid, in that case, don't blame me for being rude. Xian Yun sneered. With a wave of his fan, a terrible storm suddenly covered the sky and the earth, as if it had crossed time and space and rushed in front of Lin Xian. With a loud boom, a terrifying power erupted and engulfed Lin Xian in an instant. Boundless turbulence swept in all directions, obliterating everything. Not good. Seeing this scene, the eyelids of the experts from the Outstanding Warrior Mansion twitched violently. Damn it, this Xian Yun was really cautious to actually execute that strange fan right from the start. From their point of view, Xian Yun might have been careless and allowed Lin Xian to launch a sneak attack. That's better. However, he didn't expect the other party to be so cautious. He wondered if Lin Xian would be able to withstand it. It shouldn't be a problem. His strength was super strong. After all, he could even defeat Hamo. The people from the House of Prodigy also calmed down a little. However, the horrifying scene in front of them still made their eyelids twitch wildly. The most nervous one was Qing Wu. Her small hands were white, and she was gnashing her teeth. Damned guy, you have to hold on for me. He wanted to defeat his opponent. Otherwise, I won't forgive you for the rest of my life. Indeed, Lin Xian had used her as collateral to bet with the other party. If he lost, Lin Xian would not lose anything, but she would be different. All right, this battle is over. Little girl, become my woman and come with me. After that blow, Xian Yun no longer paid attention to Lin Xian. In his opinion, the other party would definitely not be able to withstand this blow. Perhaps he would be directly blasted into pieces. He walked towards Qing Wu. Ha ha ha, this is too funny. Originally, I thought that this kid dared to stand out because he was a powerful character. I didn't expect that he couldn't even withstand a single blow. That was natural. What kind of power could a newcomer have? He was probably used to being called a genius outside. How dare he stand out in front of the House of Prodigy and our Heavenly Clouds Mansion? He was really reckless. The people from Heavenly Clouds Mansion disdained him. The people from the House of Prodigy were also nervous. What's going on? After such a long time, Lin Xian still hadn't come out? Could it be that there was an accident? No way Lin Xian was injured? Or was there something special about that blow just now, so that Lin Xian couldn't come out? For a moment, everyone was extremely nervous. Qing Wu's little face turned even uglier. Damn it, hurry up and come out. Seeing Xian Yun walking over, she snorted coldly, and a touch of blood appeared in her eyes again. Since the damn Lin Xian was unreliable, then she would do it herself. In short, she would not give in. I say, aren't you being too impatient? Do you think you can defeat me with a wave of your stupid fan? Have you been kicked in the head by a donkey? A disdainful voice sounded, causing everyone to be stunned. Xian Yun even stopped in his tracks, and his body was a little stiff. What's going on? He suddenly turned his head, and a terrifying light flashed in his eyes. The next moment he screamed, "It's you! How is that possible?" He found that behind him stood a young man in a red robe who was his opponent. Wasn't his opponent enveloped by his attack? How could he appear behind him? Who was the one he hit just now? The other party was unharmed. For a moment, Xian Yun was a little confused. Not only him, but the people from Heavenly Clouds Mansion were also stunned. This kid, damn it, how could he be so fast? Could it be that he dodged? No way. These people were also going crazy. The people from Extraordinary Warrior Mansion all breathed a sigh of relief. Great! I knew Lin Xian wouldn't be defeated. That's right, who is Lin Xian? Just wait and see. Xian Yun is definitely going to be unlucky. At this moment, they became excited again. Qing Wu also breathed a sigh of relief. This guy was always so thrilling. She retreated to the side. She knew that with Lin Xian making a move, there should be no suspense in this battle. Xian Yin was strong and talented, but unfortunately he encountered Lin Xian. I didn't expect you to be able to escape my attack. Kid, it seems that your speed is beyond my expectations. But do you think you can defeat me just because you're fast? You've angered me, so next you'll have a taste of hell. Xian Yun walked up again. He decided that this time he would only stop when he saw his opponent being killed with his own eyes. Buzz! He waved the fan, emitting a vast aura, and struck out a terrifying storm that surged forward. The power this time was more violent than before. Moreover, the speed was very fast. Heaven and earth were completely sealed off. Kid, let's see how you're going to escape this time. Xian Yun revealed a sinister smile. Escape? Who said I'm going to escape? Lin Xian sneered, took a step forward, and the flames on his body surged into the sky, turning into a giant flame dragon that soared into the sky, resounding through the 9 heavens. Wherever the giant flame dragon passed, all the storms were swept away. The surrounding space was burning fiercely, and for a moment, the entire sky turned into a sea of fire. Boom! With a punch, the flames in the sky turned into a golden crow that descended from the sky, directly shrouding Xian Yun below. Chapter 3065. What? This kid is so strong. Those from the heavenly cloud mansion narrowed their eyes, and the blood in their bodies kept rolling. Many of them were so scared that they fell to the ground. Damn it, this kid is a ruthless person. It's over, we've been fooled. Those from the heavenly cloud mansion looked extremely ugly. They knew that they had underestimated the other party. The fact that he dared to come out and those from the extraordinary warrior mansion did not stop him meant that the other party was not simple. They might have been deceived by the other party's reputation as a newcomer. Maybe he was also a super newcomer like Xian Yin? Xian Yun's pupils also shrank. He did not expect the other party to have such strength. Damn it, he was too careless. But so what? Even if the other party was a super newcomer, so what? Other than Bei Yao and the others. He did not put the other sky prides in his eyes. So in the next moment he roared, Kid, you have completely angered me. Mysterious runes were emitted from his fan as it rushed up and collided with the terrifying golden crow's fist. With a bang, the entire void turned into dust, leaving nothing behind. A peerless formation instantly appeared on the ground under his feet. It blocked the terrifying aura. This energy rushed straight into the sky, leading to the outer realm and exploding in the outer realm. After the attack, the energy disappeared and the light receded. The 2 figures appeared in front of them again. Those from the extraordinary warrior mansion and the heavenly cloud mansion were watching nervously. Those from the extraordinary warrior mansion were very excited. Lin Xian, good job. Beat him up. Beat him up hard. Beat him up. Those from the heavenly cloud mansion looked gloomy. Damn it. Can this guy really compete with Xian Yin? This is not good news. Who is he? When did such a super newcomer appear in the extraordinary warrior mansion? Why didn't we get the news before? Could it be him? At this time, the man in blue also frowned. Who is Senior Brother Chin? Those around looked at the man in blue and asked carefully. They were in awe of the man in blue, and their respect was even higher than Xian Yin. They heard that a peerless genius had recently appeared in the extraordinary warrior mansion, who comprehended the plenilune wordless stele and created a legend for tens of thousands of years. Maybe it's this kid in front of them. What? Someone comprehended the plenilune wordless stele? Heavens, impossible. Wasn't that something that no one had comprehended for tens of thousands of years? Damn it, who the hell is this kid? How did he do it? These people were all stunned. They had naturally heard of the full moon wordless stele. Furthermore, they also knew that other than Yi Gucheng, who had comprehended it back then, Yi Gucheng had also comprehended it. For tens of thousands of years, no one had succeeded. Even people like the Northern Demon and Yulinglong had attempted to do so, but they had all failed. In their eyes, the moon-gazer wordless steel was only a legend. No one had ever been able to comprehend it. Perhaps it was just an ordinary stone tablet that had become a legend. But now, someone else had comprehended it. This was definitely a heaven-defying feat. Damn it, if it was really this brat, Xian Yin would most likely be in danger. That was indeed the case. The House of Prodigy is too despicable. How could such a terrifying genius not say a word? Instead, he had disguised himself as an ordinary newcomer. He was trying to stir up trouble. Damn it, I've been tricked by them. The faces of the Heavenly Clouds mansions, people darkened. No, I have to quickly tell Xian Yin. I can't let him be careless anymore. Soon, someone transmitted their voice. After Xian Yin heard the news, his body trembled and his eyes widened. He looked at the figure in front of him in disbelief. His expression was filled with shock and disbelief. The other party had comprehended the moon-gazer, wordless steel. Impossible. It couldn't be a brat. Even if someone could comprehend the moon-gazer, wordless steel, they would be in seclusion now. Who would be in the mood to care about such a thing? Didn't you see that the Northern Demon and the others were in seclusion? Therefore, he did not believe that the person who participated in the moon-gazer, wordless steel, was Lin Xian. Brat, no matter who you are, you've angered me now. So go to hell. Buzz. 6 runes appeared on the surface of the swan fan and floated in the air. The sky darkened, the wind blew, and thunder filled the sky. A terrifying power spread out, pressing down on everyone until they couldn't breathe. Even Qing Wu and Zhong Lingxiu were facing it with their full strength. A mysterious bloodline power appeared on Qing Wu's body, and a green lotus appeared beside Zhong Lingxiu, suppressing heaven and earth. The surrounding formation flickered and shrouded everything. Kill! Xian Yin waved the fan in his hand, and the 6 ancient runes turned into rays of light that charged toward Lin Xian. From afar, it looked like a star in the sky, piercing through the sky and crashing into the earth. This attack was truly incomparably terrifying. Damn it, what kind of runes are these? They're definitely runes set up by a saint. It's too terrifying. Lin Xian, you have to dodge quickly. You can't take it head-on. Indeed, the swan fan was very powerful, and these runes were even more terrifying. If he took it head-on, he would be at a disadvantage. The best way to deal with it was to dodge it with speed. However, Lin Xian did not move. He just looked at the 6 runes rushing toward him. What's going on? Is Lin Shui going to take it head-on? These people exclaimed. When the people of Heavenly Clouds Mansion saw this, they sneered again. This shouldn't be the brat who comprehended the moon-gazer, wordless steel. Look at him. He's scared out of his wits when he's facing the 6 runes. How could he be such a peerless genius? That peerless genius should be in seclusion. These people sneered disdainfully, but in the next moment, they were stunned, and even their bodies trembled. Many people directly knelt on the ground in fear. Even the blue-robed man's pupils shrank, and his face was full of disbelief. Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. When the 6 runes arrived in front of him, he slowly raised his finger. It moved forward. This time, the movement was very slow. It was as if he was drawing a picture. Moreover, there was no terrifying power, nor was there any bright light. It was just an ordinary stroke. However, this time, the whole world trembled as if it was about to split open. Endless energy surged, and the 6 ancient runes were destroyed in an instant. All the terrifying scenes and terrifying cracks between the heavens and the earth had completely disappeared. It was as if everything that happened before was just a dream. The people of Heavenly Clouds Mansion were stunned. Not to mention them, the people of Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were also stunned. In their opinion, Lin Xian should have used the 9-yang divine body to resist the 6 terrifying attacks. However, they guessed wrong. Lin Xian didn't take the attack head-on. Instead, he drew a strange arc in the air. Under this strange arc, the 6 runes were reduced to ashes. What kind of arc was this? They were all stunned. Damn it! It's impossible! What did he do? With a gentle wave of his arm, he broke 6 runes? This is impossible. Those 6 runes, even Qing Wu's bloodline power couldn't block them. How could that brat block them? Chapter 3066. What did he use? Could it be a super powerful sage-level artifact? These people had gone crazy. Xian Yun looked even more adorable. What's going on? His super powerful attack was easily neutralized by the other party. It was so easy. Damn it. How could the other party have such a mysterious divine ability? What the hell was that? At this moment, everyone was stunned. Qing Wu was stunned. In the distance, Zhong Lingxiu was also stunned. Her beautiful eyes flickered as she stared at Lin Xian. At the same time, the elders of the extraordinary warrior mansion who were watching the battle in the dark were also shocked. What was going on just now? How could they not watch when the heavenly cloud mansion came knocking on their door? However, they were all juniors, so these elders couldn't make a move. Therefore, they could only watch in the dark to avoid losing their lives. After all, they were all geniuses, and it would be a pity if they died. Previously, the heavenly cloud mansion was very arrogant, which made these elders very unhappy. However, there was nothing they could do. Unexpectedly, Lin Xian came and turned the situation around, which made these elders excited. In their opinion, Lin Xian should be able to defeat the other party with the great dragon sword soul and 9 yang divine body. However, Lin Xian did make a move, but it was different from what they had imagined. He didn't seem to use the great dragon sword soul, nor did he use the 9 yang divine body. With just a casual attack, he destroyed such a terrifying sage-level rune. How did he do it? His attack just now seemed ordinary, but it was very strange. It was close to Dao. What? Close to Dao? How is this possible? Did this kid comprehend it so quickly? These elders were dumbfounded, and their bodies trembled. The next moment, they were extremely excited, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. This kid's talent is heaven-defying. How long has it been since he got the plenilune wordless steel? Heavens, he was definitely going to win. Previously, these elders were still a little worried. After all, Xian Yan's Dharma treasure was very powerful. But now, after Lin Xian used this move, these elders were all relieved. They continued to watch the battle with excitement. These people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were so arrogant. Now they were going to suffer. Hee, Xian Yun will probably be defeated. Damn it, I don't believe it. Go to hell. Xian Yun roared madly. This time, the fan in his hand emitted a terrifying glow, causing rare phenomena to take place. Swan fan, 10 cardinals purgatory. A sinister wind blew, and the cries of ghosts and howls of wolves could be heard. The entire world turned dark, as if it had turned into hell. Black runes jumped about, emitting a cold and terrifying aura, wanting to take Lin Xian's life. Within the formation, the geniuses of the elite manor who were being protected were shivering in fear. Damn it, what kind of treasure is this? To be able to unleash such a divine ability, this was the work of a saint. This Xian Yan's treasure was seriously too powerful. He wondered how Lin Xian was going to fight this time. Don't worry, this kid has the great dragon sword soul and can destroy everything. This cold aura is not a threat to him. These words made the people of the House of Prodigy let out a sigh of relief. The members of the Heavenly Clouds mansion became nervous once again. Lad, let's see how you will die this time. Xian Yun also laughed complacently. He did not believe that the other party would be able to break it this time around. Even if he could break it, he would be seriously injured. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian was still expressionless. He did not even try to dodge. He raised his arm again and drew the same strange arc as before. Crack, 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 crack. The hellish scene in the surroundings quickly collapsed. In an instant, the world regained its clarity. All of the hellish scenes were shattered. How was this possible? The people of the Heavenly Clouds mansion were dumbfounded. They trembled and felt a chill run down their spines. Xian Yun's scalp went numb. His eyes were wide open. What was going on? When Lin Xian made his move, Xian Yun used his eye technique to check if it was an elder of the House of Prodigy who was secretly attacking. However, he realized that it was not the case. It was only this kid. Moreover, the other party did not use any treasured weapon. He had used his finger to draw a line in the air, and the divine ability he had unleashed had collapsed. This caused Xian Yun to start doubting his life. Was his attack really so trash? No, this was impossible. He was very clear about the power of the Swan Fan. No one could easily block it. What the hell was this kid doing? At this moment, Xian Yun began to doubt his life. The people of the House of Prodigy were also stunned. The elders who were secretly watching the battle were excited. That's right, it was close to Dao. Although it was not a Dao pattern, it was far beyond ordinary runes. It carried a mysterious and unfathomable aura. This Lin Xian was really amazing. He could comprehend it so quickly. Yes, even if he was talented, he couldn't be so fast. Back then, even Yi Gucheng was not so fast, right? Indeed, Lin Xian's speed of comprehension was beyond the expectations of these elders. To be honest, Lin Xian was also shocked when he used it. The power was so terrifying. Was this the power of Dao? No, Wonder Sages were invincible and unsurpassable. This was not a Dao pattern, not a law. It was just him imitating a Dao pattern and transforming it. It was so terrifying. How terrifying was a real Dao pattern? It was estimated that if a Dao pattern flew out, Xian Yun and those geniuses of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion would be instantly turned into ashes. Of course, Lin Xian was able to achieve it so quickly. In addition to his abnormal talent, the Heavenly Secret Divine Eye also played a big role. The Heavenly Secret Divine Eye was originally a mysterious and unparalleled eye that could see through everything. At this moment, with the Plenilune Seed, Lin Xian could clearly see the Dao patterns and laws between heaven and earth. Therefore, his speed of progress was so astonishing. Of course, in these 2 months, he had only comprehended 2 curves. Now he was using the first one. Lin Xian looked ahead, stunned and even doubting Xian Yun's life. The corner of his mouth raised into a smile. I said, "You are not my opponent. I also asked you before, do you know what it means to die young? In the end, you didn't listen to my advice at all. Since that's the case, don't blame me for being impolite. If you admit defeat obediently, you can avoid some torture. You choose for yourself." With these 2 incomparably mysterious curves in his hands, Lin Xian did not place Xian Yun in his eyes at all. Not to mention, he also had the great dragon sword soul and 9 yang divine body. Xian Yun was trembling with anger. Admit defeat? What a joke! If he lost, he would have to kneel and kowtow to apologize. This would be worse than killing him. Previously, Xian Yun had agreed to such a condition without even thinking about it. In his opinion, he would not lose. But now, he was very likely to lose. No, he could not accept it. As a peerless genius, he could not kneel and apologize to these people. Damn it, I don't believe it. Xian Yun roared and quickly charged over. The folding fan in his hand danced continuously, and streams of killing intent flew out from the fan. They intertwined with each other, forming a huge bolt of lightning that shattered the entire heaven and earth. The lightning and runes in the sky intertwined with each other, forming a terrifying array that enveloped Lin Xian. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.